Good morning, traders. How we doing out there? I hope that you guys are ready for the market. So first things first, look on down, hit that like button. Let's get started with a like. I'm trying to get to 300 likes before the bell today. So if you guys can do so, who knows? I might take a little YOLO action. I know we got Zunaid here, Ryan. So do me the favor, hit that like and let's get live trading started right now. Boom, baby. Let's do it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher. Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part, it's beatable.
Good morning, traders. It's good to see everybody in the chat. Love to see everybody talking already. And yes, we'll touch AT&T. We'll talk a little bit also about what happened in Sony. Let's get right to it. Let's bring on the boys here. Ryan and Zunaid. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
What's going on, Mitch? How's everyone doing out there? I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Good morning, Miss Whitehorse. The judge in here. Let's get going.
I can say that the birds are chirping, so that means it's ready to start the day. That's a good luck sign. You don't gotta go anywhere, Ryan. You see every sign that says Ryan thinks that we don't like the birds.
Do you know what?
Love the birds, man.
So real quick, let me tell you why. Spencer triggered me because one day he heard the bird. He had me fill in the spot right after work, and he heard the birds chirping, and I could see the anxiety just pour over him. Like, oh my God, the stream's not perfect. What are we gonna do? And so every time I hear them chirping, when I'm not trying to have them chirp, I just feel like I should do something else to close the door. That's all. So Spencer ruined it for everyone.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I grew up where in kind of Miami, where you do hear the birds chirp in the morning, and that's how I knew it was morning. I mean, it's a good sign, right? So let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Let's look at the one, the only, the fastest trader probably out here, the YOLO Zaid. What's up out there, guys?
What's going on, man? Interesting day yesterday. Nice rally in a lot of stocks. BBIG decided to go like much later in the day. I definitely did not have patience for this one, so I definitely missed this trade. But you can see how $3 held fairly well after the initial drop below, and then it came back up and then held $3 here, and then held $3 here, and then a nice move above. So what am I looking to do now? Above 340, which looks to be resistance right now. It could be a nice move, but I did not enjoy the capture here. And Netflix, I know this is something that we talked about yesterday, especially with closing the gap. That one, I mean, look at that. From 398 all the way up to, what did it close at? I think
409.15 break. The 409.15 break sent that thing another 20-some points. Just an absolute monster day. We called that before the market even opened yesterday.
Yeah. And then, so basically, what am I looking at now? Well, I'm looking to see what happens between this 432 area and 424 area, because I do believe if the market participates with us, we can absolutely see this one march on over to approximately the 450 area. One stock that I do want to talk about is going to be Nvidia as it approaches. Well, look at that before market. It's already above 250. So now that 250 area for me is going to be kind of like a hold in terms of support. So I'm actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell an alert here. But in my broker for E-Trade, I'm also going to set an alert to where it's, hey, if Nvidia's price gets to 250 and 50 cents, buy this contract at market. And that contract will probably be about a 255. I'm going to see what the contract pricing is, but those are the stocks that I'm kind of taking a look at. Nvidia. It's been a while since I've come back to this one, but we might try to make some money on this one today.
All right. Good morning, everybody in the chat out there. Looks like we're getting ready for the market here. Let's go ahead and take an overall look at the market. What are the important levels? I'm going to be trying to be quick about this, guys. So downside 442, we get back into the range where it could be a concern. And some could say this is just a bounce right into a bear market. So just be careful out there. We're going to be watching today. Above 450 is so important. You can see how we held it so well right into the close. and also in this pre-market, if we can get above, let's say 451 and hold up there, then I would be looking for some bullish plays. But if that doesn't happen, I'm not looking bullish at all. Actually, today I'm looking more bearish. I think this was just a rally into just too many people also looking at what they weren't looking for the upside. And when you don't go looking for the upside, a lot of times you're going to get these rallies in the start of what I think is a bear market, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens here. My biggest thing is keep your eyes on the market breadth. Market breadth did move in the right direction, but it still isn't into a case where I'd say, okay, we're getting a reversal here, there. So we'll see what happens. Let's get into some of the news here. Let's go to Ryan now. I'm going to go and put him up. Looks like he's looking at AMD today, and then we'll get into some of these news catalysts when Ryan gets done with his watch.
Yeah, I got a couple of stocks that I want to run through. I'm going to be quick, just like Mitch did. I'm going to start here with AMD. Well, first of all, I actually want to start off by addressing SA. Ryan, your collar, using too much starch in your collar. Bro, this is a dry fit shirt. It's never seen starch in its life. I washed it in the washing machine with a quarter. I think you're trolling. Anyway, looking at AMD here today, this is a stock that I actually really like. And even in a rising interest rate environment, I think AMD makes enough money where that probably won't be a huge draw on them. I actually still like this for higher. I'm not sure we actually take out the all-time highs this year, but I do think we actually trade back towards that level. One of the things that you'll notice is that we bounced recently after this ferocious sell-off, and I think that's normal. I think we actually probably are going to continue this bounce before we stall out and reverse. And one of the things that you'll see on here is I actually drew a Fibonacci retracement from the coronavirus low in March of 2020 to the recent high that we put in here at the end of November in 2021. And you can see that these levels have been pretty ironclad the entire way. We actually bounced off the 50% retracement level almost to the penny. We recently retook the 200-day. Honestly, I think that we probably go up and try to test the 100-day. Now, the one thing that I will say about AMD is be advised we have earnings today after the market closes. So whatever your trade plan is, make sure that you account for that. If you don't want to be hit by that binary print, maybe wait and see what the earnings are before you actually swing it. And if you're going to day trade it leading up to the earnings, I actually think you might get some upward momentum here. On the long term, as far as the broader market, well, I agree with Mitch. I don't think the bear tape is over. I actually think we're going to retest these lows at some point. I don't think we start that move today. I actually think we continue this bounce here. I wouldn't be surprised if the SPY also trades up to the 455 level, which would be right where the 100-day moving average is before getting rejected and then retesting those lows. When we retest those lows, then we'll look into seeing whether or not we're actually going to hold them or not. One of the other stocks that I want to take a look at here before we take a look at Sony is Square, right? This has been one of the leaders in the payment processor field. Absolutely great stock, great company. Recently got absolutely destroyed from its highs. And you can see here we're actually quite a bit below the 500-day moving average and some of the other moving averages. I look for this to kind of regress back towards the mean. I'm looking at it in the pre-market. We're up here another, $5 here in the pre-market. So I wouldn't chase this. I'd wait for this to take a little bit of a break. But I actually like this for higher over the course of this year. So Square performing pretty well. Now, Mitch, do you want to jump into Sony now? Were there some other stocks you want to take a look at? You want to go through the news catalyst now? Mitch is muted, so I'm just going to go to Shopify until he works that gremlin out. Here's another one that was really, really expensive. Shopify, I actually don't think there's going to be a whole lot more room to the downside. I think if the market pulls, we probably do test this 800 level. But even if that falls, I don't think we go much past 600. I'd actually look for this to stabilize. This is a tough stock to trade. So this one, I'm not sure that we're actually ready for a bull run here. If you caught this bounce, I think you should absolutely trim that and put those gains in your pocket. They're probably pretty nice.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going there. My bad, I'll be unmuted. When I type and the music being on, there's a lot of other things I got to take care of. But yeah, I was typing in the chat there. I got questions on market breadth. And so one of the things that I was looking for, and the question was a really good one. But, and I'll kind of read it here. So when you look at the market breadth, how would you assess that it's reached a point where you want to get in? Otherwise, at 50%, most of the moves are probably going to be past kind of like the bottoming action. And so one of the things here is not necessarily that we need to cross a certain mark, but we want to see a lot of stocks lead the rally. Yesterday, we did see that, right? I mean, if you looked at your watch list, probably did you see? You saw nothing but green on probably a lot of it, probably let's say 7 out of 10 stocks. That's what you want to see. That's called a strong market, when you get a lot of stocks to rally. Now, the question is, do we get a continued rally in all the stocks, or do you start seeing trickles of the leaders, taking over, like let's say Apple or Tesla, but these smaller stocks starting to go away today? That's what I'd be paying attention to.
And real quickly, just to add to that, you were talking about watch lists. One of the things the happy hour group did after the market closes last week on Thursday was we came up with a list of stocks that have really been beaten down from their highs. Stocks that really performed well, had a great price, and then got just destroyed in the market sell-off. The thesis here was that the stocks that got hit the most were going to be the ones that bounce first. And Mitch, if you know about bear tapes, when you're in a bear tape, sometimes when you get a bounce, they can be absolutely ferocious. Even if they don't take you to new highs, the rip itself can be ferocious. So here is the list of stocks that the group created. We've got 38 stocks on this list. Yesterday, this entire watch list was green. The stock with the highest percent gain was up 19%, and the stock with the lowest percent gain was up 2.56%. So to your point about market breadth, Mitch, it was all across the market. Almost like you were saying, almost every stock was in the green unless it had some sort of negative catalyst. But furthermore, the stocks that were recently hit were the most green. And here we are again today. We can see already in the pre-market, a lot of these stocks are actually trading up. So it'll be interesting to see if this momentum carries or if this dies out. As always, what I'm going to be looking at to monitor that is going to be the VIX and the broader market, as you already outlined.
Like always, guys, do me the favor, smash that like button. Let's get it on up. I want to get to 300 before the bell today. Definitely, Music Mitch is here and going to take on over. I did lower the music a little bit right now. I'll get it back up on full speed when we start trading here. Like always, guys, let's go ahead. Let's see what we get in this market. See if we can get some money today, guys. Let's get that money. So let's go ahead. Let's see what's on out there. Let's go through some stocks. We've got a lot of stocks that were mentioned on pre-market prep. We got a list, so I'm going to start trying to run through there. You guys let me know if you guys want to make comments on any of these. I'm going to start running through. First one up, of course, Sony. Sony, of course, coming out with the news that it's going after Bungie. But the real question is, will these kind of sales go through? Of course, Activision also kind of in this kind of battle right now. And it doesn't look good. At least a lot of people are pricing in that the Activision deal isn't going to go through. So just be careful out there. I don't know exactly what's going to happen on these stocks, and they seem a little confusing. Sony seemed like a great dip buy when it did that huge down gap here when it was down at 105. Now up here at 112s, I wouldn't be so positive about it getting back towards 120. Just be careful out there. Sony does have some resistance, but if it can get up there to, let's say, 117 today, then we can really start seeing that bottoming action on Sony. Let's keep going. Let's go AMD. We already covered, so we don't got to worry about that. Square, just keep watching it. To me, you got to wait for a serious bottom on this. Good monthly candle would be good, back up towards, let's say, 158, but I wouldn't be overreacting in these payment stocks. Firm, I know it was mentioned in the chat also, so let's go through that. Daily chart has some bottoming action here by the 50s. I do see about 3 touches down there. I would look for a 4th touch and then the reversal, but we'll see if we can get back towards 70 today. I think you'll get some resistance into 69, 79, but definitely it is finding a little bit of a bounce here. You could say maybe an undercut and rally, but it really didn't undercut that 50 where it got down here to 46.50. So we'll see if we can get back there towards 46.50 and then come back. It's not my favorite name right now, but hey, if you like it, you like the payment services, you like what they have to offer, keep it on watch.
And Mitch, real quick on Affirm, I think your levels there are spot on. I actually think this thing stalls out around the 69 to 70 level before going back towards the 47.50 level to retest the low. That's going to be my gut. I think eventually this stock is a $10 to $30 stock. That's it. I don't necessarily really like the business. I don't necessarily like the stock. I think this thing flew too high. Or too close to the sun on wings made of, I don't know how the saying goes, but it went way too high. It's coming back to reality now. This is not the bottom. There will be lower for Affirm.
All right, I'm going to keep rolling through here, guys. You guys smash the like. If you guys want a stock covered, definitely go ahead and throw it in the chat. Seeing NVAX bounce off of that bottom, I did see them put out kind of emergency use. So keep this one on watch. This one could start making its way back towards 150. It is off of its prior support. So if you wanted to kind of draw down towards that support over here, I kind of like this move above 80s now. You can use that as the pullback, but I think it's a little bit extended in 3 days. So just be careful. You know, it could get a little bit of a pullback, maybe 10% pullback. But it's made a 32% move in just 3 days, guys. So just be careful out there. NVAX could get a little pullback, but I do like it maybe for swinger trades on that pullback. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going through. Palantir mentioned in the chat also. When will this one stop coming down? To me,
That's the question.
I think you have to wait. You can't call this. If you're trying to call this, you're literally just playing with knives. And when you play with knives, it's just dangerous, guys. It's just, let's just be honest. Let's keep.
Mitch, real quick, I think you're 100% right there. This is one of those stocks where don't try and catch the bottom. If it bottoms and it reverses and you want to play it to the upside, fine. I totally get it. But this is one where it's just, to me, we're not really sure what's going to happen here yet. I have no idea where the bottom is. There's kind of like a cult feel to this stock. Just wait for it to actually put its bottom in. Buffalo Bicycle is saying PLTR is a put away stock. So to your point, Mitch, about the playing with knives thing, if you have the time, if you can wait on this investment, I understand scaling in now and giving it that time. Otherwise, if you've got a little bit of a tighter budget, smaller account, wait for this thing to actually put its bottom in. Don't try to be a hero on this thing. This one will get you killed.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's go towards the 3 autos. I'm going to cover them all at the same time. So here's GM on the right-hand side, Ford in the middle, Lucid on the left. Okay, so we're going to go to 15 minutes so that we can see a little bit closer here. So yesterday we did push out through that 28. What did I call out for the level to watch for the resistance? 29.39. Look how that ended up holding their resistance. Then we cleared that. So 29.50 on the downside and 29.40s on the downside will show you a reversal. Right now, it's made a significant move off the bottom. If you draw from the bottom, that's about 20% up. So be careful with retracements today. I think a sideways close will actually be a good thing on the daily. So if we could get a candle to maybe just get like kind of sideways here and not break through that 30 low, kind of just hold sideways here. And so I'll draw a little circle. If we could see a candle tomorrow in that area, I'll be watching to see if we can come towards a sideways day in Lucid. Ford really caught that bottom there at 1886. This is why I was looking at this one yesterday for potential reversal. One thing that I always talk about Ford is that if you watch the bigger time frames and you see these huge supports, look for those to come into play. Look how these wicks gave you opportunities right off of that level. 1892 low, 1880 low. You could have been attacking 19, maybe risking off of, let's say, 1850s or 1875, and you could be making a great trade there in Ford. Let's keep going. Last one there, of course, to mention GM. Keep your eyes on this one, reversing on back there, and I think it could push towards 55. Has been in a sideways consolidation, so you want to see it really get back above 55 with some big volume, but could have a good day. Tesla, last one to definitely cover, is dropping. What did we talk about yesterday? Look for a potential rip through 850s, getting on there towards 900. It actually went to 936 now. So 900 on the bottom side, that's what I'll be looking for to catch the bounce there. If it breaks 900, I'd be looking for shorts, but above, let's say 936 or a hold of 900, I'm not going to just quickly jump into that because I think it could bounce, and then next thing you know, 950s, 1000 gets hit. All right, so last one that I wanted to get through, and I'm trying to run through this before the bell. So Cliffs, let's see, keep an eye out on US Steel and kind of Cliffs. It does look interesting here. Nice resistance if it can get back above, let's say 1862. X is another one to keep on watch. X looks stronger than Cliffs, just to kind of mention. So maybe you look for X to kind of lead or Cliffs to lead. One of them should give us a little bit of a signal, and we'll keep it on watch. All right, guys, like always, if you guys got some stocks to take a look at, throw them up in the chat. I'm going to keep doing my best. I also got a 6-chart setup here for us, so if we can put some other stocks that we're keeping on watch, and I'll try to put this up every now and then to kind of bring some more charts in here. But you guys do me the favor. Before we get towards the bell here, and there's the bell, guys, do me the favor, hit that like down below. Ding, 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 ding. Let's get it started, guys. Let's go.
All right, you've got NVIDIA. Come on.
Ding, 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 ding is right, Buzz. Let's get it. All right, guys, to start off, I am going to go towards my 3 charts here, and we'll see what happens. Oh, this is my option setup. Look, I got you guys an option setup so we can check out some options. So if you, Zunaid, you want to call out certain, like, kind of prices or strikes and stuff, I can pull that up for us right here.
The quick scalp that I tried to get on NVIDIA didn't work out, so I'm going to go ahead and take a loss on that for about $1.50.
All right, looking for X here. I like this trade here. I'm trying to set on up here. I was a little bit late, so give me a second here. I'll let you guys know if I could take a shot at this. Music, I did turn up a little bit. Let me know if it gets too loud out there in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it, but you guys let us know. Let's keep it going.
BKKT, a little strength here out of the open on some volume. This has been a former runner before, although I don't actually believe long-term in the business. Looking strong today here, no position. They actually want this to take out 460 on volume before I would consider it a long. Just noticed it pop right here out of the open.
All right, I like FCX here, guys. I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback here. 1, 2, 3 attempts to break down the VWAP. Let it try one more time, hold 38, and then I'm going to look for a push above 38.25s. So I'm looking at FCX here. Sorry about that. I know I moved the charts there. FCX looks interesting. Why? That I looked immediately. I did sector analysis. I said basic materials up 0.51. So basic materials is what we're watching. We talked about steel potentially up there too. Steel is the one that you can take a look at. NUE is also a potential today. That one pushed on up. That one looks interesting. Silver up, copper up. So I'm going with FCX right now. Taking a quick look. I'm going to go ahead and buy here. Trying to get it in on a pullback here. It just ripped through that 25. I wanted to get 25. Let's see if I can get a little pullback at 25 here. Up there already to 35s.
Can anyone see if they have UPS options pricing for this week's expiration? Because I don't.
Yeah, I can. Let me just see right here.
I do not. No, I've got no price.
UPS.
Yeah. What the hell? All right. Well, I was taking a look at UPS.
The February contract either, Zunaid.
What?
I don't have any trading yet in the February contract.
Yeah, it just hasn't priced, no nothing.
Yeah,
none
of them have. Yeah.
Well, I'm taking a look at UPS if it can get around 220 to go long, but
kind of annoyed I missed this FCX buy-in. Trying to catch this FCX buy-in spot. Looking for a pullback here to 39.20s here. Let's go ahead. Let's put out the order there. Looking to get filled.
Damn, bro.
Roblox pulling back.
There you go. Got a little bit there. Boom. Just got filled a little bit there at 25s, guys. So now we're looking for it to break right back through the highs. Hold 38.05 on pullbacks. Let's see if we can come back and take out that high. All right, that's FCX. Of course, you guys can keep looking at some other charts out there. And look in the chat. Killed it on KSCP yesterday, but the volume isn't the same. Yeah, be careful out there, guys. SPIR, slow grinder for the past few days. You guys can take a look at that. Fourth Way said, out of AMC, too scary. I can't blame you for that.
AMC really broke down. As soon as it went through its VWAP, it really broke down. Big red candle here on AMC on volume. This was up in the pre-market, right? This was preliminary Q4 sales results above estimates. Okay.
All right, now we finally have UPS and it breaks through. Ugh.
All
So
right.
what's going on there, Zunaid? Is they just? I mean, the options look really spready here. To use
Yeah,
your-
now it is. Yeah, you just started it trading and things like that. It definitely is spready, and I don't see anything I like whatsoever. It's already up 13%. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. But yeah, I am taking a look at Nvidia here. By the way, I did go ahead and grab for Nvidia. Again, this is a lot riskier, so do what you will. I got the 247.50 calls for Nvidia expiring this week. Paid $6.08. If it breaks 244, I'll be out. I expect to lose about 30 to 40% if I'm wrong.
All right, guys, going to look to when we break out through here at 3840s is where I saw the turnaround last time. Let's see if we get some buying to step up there. There's a seller there right now. 3832, 5,800 shares. That's how you quickly see a turnaround on a level. Right there, that was people selling into the move right now. I'm looking for it to clear that move right now above 3840s here.
Shopify, strong out of the open here, really kind of just went off of its VWAP. This would have been actually a nice options trade here. It wasn't on my scanner early, though, although we did take a look at it early on. Shopify looking strong.
Boom, baby, up there to the 44s there. Going to sell some into the 50s here.
Is that a break of your trend line?
Yep.
So the yellow circles your buy, the break of the trend line is your first sale?
Yep.
Well done.
That's what I like to do because, I mean, you could get turnarounds, right? Like there. So right there, I sold out some of it. I sold half the position there at 38s. I saw some slowdown there on the momentum. I want to give it a chance here. I'm going to give it a chance. But one thing I don't want to do is give up gains here, let it go back to break even, and I'm out of the trade. This is what I've been doing a little bit and trying to improve on my execution of speed here and just staying really tight to what we're looking for.
Mitch, when the market is volatile like this, I think keeping the profits in your pocket, not letting your trades go red, I think that's actually smart. I mean, if this pops and you miss it, wait for it to set up again, right? There's no, what you don't want to have it, look at it reverse now. You don't want to have it reverse right back down into your buy zone.
Yep. We'll see if FCX can hold here. We don't want it to really get underneath our buy spot here. We're in at 26. Bid went there to 25. But we're right back up there to the 30s. We want to see it clear out of the 3850s. That could get us up to the next hourly level resistance. Hourly level resistance is going to be up there towards 39. So this could potentially be a nice 75-cent winner. Let's give it a chance here. If it breaks 3820s, we get out and we could get back into the trade. But we gave ourselves already some profit to work with. Let's see if it can continue going here.
I'm going to try to defend it NVIDIA here at the previous close. I went and grabbed another contract at $5.41, the same exact one that expires this week, 247.50 calls. Basically, this previous close and this 244, 245 area is what I'm hoping it holds. But if it breaks to 244, I will be out with the loss.
All right, right here, we don't want to see. I actually might buy here, guys. It looks good here. We just held VWAP one last time. From this point on, I don't want it to break VWAP at all. This is the rule of three coming into play on the 1 minute. I can try to explain it here, but I'm really just trying to watch the trade here. There's some people stepping up here. I want to see some step up volume in the 40s. I see all the step up volume into the 30s. There's only one order that's above 1,000, above 3842. So I'll draw it out here. So there's one high. I won't even get a chance to get it out there. So I'll just keep watching. There's the 48s there coming in. What do you see on the time and sale? I don't see anything really coming in the 40s right now. At least big sizing. Big sizing to me is above 1,000 shares. So I'm not pulling the trigger yet. I'm looking for some big sizing here to step up in the 50. There's 45, 1,000 shares.
Now, does the opposite hold true, Mitch, if you see 1,000 share lots in the sell side?
So one thing that I'm trying to do here is not necessarily only focus on the offer or bid, where the volume is going through, but big orders, right? So a lot of times I'm thinking, how does this seller work into this environment, right? If I bought at where I bought, which is near the low of this range, I'm selling into the top of the range. So if I see sell orders and when we rip on up, if I don't see a whole bunch of volume trading up there, it shows to me that there's no battle up there. That as quick as you go up there, you sell, you get some selling. You go up, selling, up, selling. Not as soon as you go up there, there's a battle between the bears and the bulls, and then it comes back. That's not what I'm seeing. Now you're starting to see the volume step up. If you see the time in sales, you just saw about 10,000 shares go through at what? At the 44 marks. So that gives me that sign that, okay, now you got some people that stepped up there. Now, if it takes out 50, it should continue going on up. And we're going to be actually on break even on the rest here, which is 25. We could actually set a stop and stop even looking at this. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a stop here, a stop limit to trigger at 24 and get us out at 21 at the latest there. So now I can actually set that stop and just let it go. Let the trade work here.
Tom Brady has retired.
Yes, that was, I think, out yesterday.
Yeah,
Well, he officially, that was speculation. He said he's day to day. He just posted a tweet himself.
I don't believe it until the season starts.
Nvidia, by the way, the dip buy that we got at 441, 541. I'm gonna go ahead and get out here at $6.10. You see the little bounce there. Still holding on to the original, which we got it at $6.
Boom, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get some spike.
I told you guys, today is what? A money day, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it on up, guys. Smash that like. Let's go. Let's go, guys. It's money day.
I'm going to grab some SPY calls here as well. A little bit riskier. I'm going to go ahead and grab the tomorrow's expiration. The 452 calls got filled at $4.39. Why? I'm hoping that this 450 is going to go ahead and hold. You can see the 10-minute candle went down, wicked below, closed above VWAP. I need this 450 to hold, and I need us to break 451 and move to the upside.
All right, we just broke through the 50s there, and I saw some volume step up here. So I'm not selling, guys. I'm looking for the extension up there towards the 39s. If we get on up there towards, let's say, 3880s or 3890s, could sell out into there, into the move. But there you guys have it, 3856. We got an entry of 3825. Not a bad there. FCX. All right, what's going on out there, guys?
All right, this
I was
NVIDIA one.
I was confirming the Brady news because there yesterday was and over the weekend was wild. But
yeah, over the weekend you had the speculation, and he said he wasn't, and then all of that. But he posted himself this time.
Yeah, great trade, Mitch, on
nice.
FCX, and great job walking through all of it. I think that's really helpful here.
Yeah, and the one thing that I want to show there is how you can react at the bell, right? So I found basic materials up, I found copper up, and so I went for FCX. It was lagging behind the action, and so I went for the laggard on the play. You got to be quick on this, but you can catch moves right out the gates. If you can see the sector just ripping, look for the laggard play, and then you can get that.
Were you channeling your inner Dennis Dick there?
Yeah, I mean, me and Dennis go kind of hand in hand, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got to learn from experts. That's how it works.
Yeah, we work pretty close, and a lot of times we see. That's why it's kind of weird when we're on opposite sides of the market. Like I'm looking for bear, and he's looking for bullish moves. That's when I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I get a little concerned. I'm like, if we're both on the opposite side.
There was a piece of news on this penny play here. Crex Zoltan had threw it in the chat. He mentioned it already. Creative Realities won a multi-million-dollar deal. So this is a low cap, micro cap stock.
Stopped out, break even on the rest. You could get back in here, but there's no reason for me to hold on to this trade here. It could easily just stop, get into the risk, and the next thing you know, you're not getting your gain there. But it's not bad. We still got reward 1. We didn't get reward 2. But that's okay. We can get back into another trade.
Market pulling here. Apple looks to be leading it to the downside.
I'm out of the SPY calls. I went ahead and lost 40 cents on that one. Broke the 449.50, which was a previous low. You got everything coming down now. Microsoft, I'm going to set an alert to go ahead and try to bottom pick this one around 305s on Microsoft.
All right, guys, looking to maybe dip by here into Cliff. I'm looking at 62.60 here. It's a VWAP bounce type of trade here.
What do you guys think about AMC? What do you think of that report?
What was the report?
Yeah, it just pretty much said that they had like their best quarter.
Yeah, it was preliminary Q4 sales results. It was up a lot more in the pre-market. It's down. It's still up on the day, still up over $1 on the day, about 7%, but down from its highs pretty considerably.
All
My
right,
scan
guys.
is pretty dried up, folks.
So this is what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking for a hold of this 58 support and then a swing right back for Cliff. I could get in here at 62 and risk off that 58. I want to see this candle close here, though. We got about 20 seconds left on the candle there. Yeah, 20 seconds right now is this moment. So I'm watching it right now. When the next candle opens, if it takes out 58, I wait. If it kind of goes sideways there, I could use the 58 or the 50 to risk off of and look for a move back towards 18, which is a 40-cent upside look for less than a 10-cent risk. What is that? Perfect over 3-to-1 trade, 4-to-1 trade. So that's the type of trade that I love.
Jasmine shouting out Visa, ticker V. This has been amazing. I'm actually not in this. Jasmine says she's looking for a pullback. Totally agree. This thing bounced like crazy off of that 200 level. I guess technically the bottom stick there was 195, but for all intents and purposes, you're in, Cliff?
Yep, just got it right now.
So anyway, just to finish up on Visa here, huge rip. If you've been in this since the bounce, absolutely you should take some gains, but we're looking to try and take out the 235 level next. No position for myself in Visa. Awesome if you caught that, though.
Awesome trade out there, guys. Let's keep it going out there. All right, guys, so now the risk here is going to be off 1755s here, okay? So that gives us a nice 12-cent risk here. We're looking for the move right back up here towards trying to take out this 18 high on Cliff. This was a trade that we also gave out on pre-market. So let's see what happens here. And if Cliff can hold above, get back above VWAP is what you want to see.
Tom says AMC burned $216 million in cash. That's good, right, Tom? I'm confused.
Isn't that what the Fed does?
All right. Well, that was a really good answer.
That was well done.
I was trying to be sarcastic and make a joke, but that was you won up to me there. Jack says AT&T did a good job paying off debt and spinning off companies. That's what you'd want to see. This is primarily a dividend play. You'd want to see that so they can keep their dividend in good order.
I'm going to take a stab here at Microsoft. I'm going to buy this week's 307.50 calls. Went ahead and paid $4.20. Why? If you go ahead and look at my chart, you can see the 307 level that's held pretty well. See, this is the after hours yesterday. You see it's 307 held. Now I want to see it hold today as well. But knowing my luck, though, it could just go ahead and spew on down. But very small size because I have had a tough morning. But that's the reason I'm getting Microsoft. You obviously do what you guys like. If it gets to about around the 306.50s or so, I will get out. And as always, I'll let you guys know when I do.
All right, guys, smash the like. We're going to be having traders join us on here, so definitely hit the like. We'll be reaching out to Devin. He's always likes to trade Tesla, so you guys there are a big Tesla fan. Stick around. Jamie, if you want to hear about some Tesla, stick around. Tesla is bulletproof. Recall has never had an effect. Yeah, I don't know, though. If the FSD can't see stop signs, that might be an issue, man.
I was going to say, you can't see stop sign. Look out.
All right, I'm really close to stopping out here on Cliffs. It's just testing me right now. It's just about to get on out. I'm not seeing any shares fill here. That's why I'm not out right now. But it is really close to right there. 50s, I'm out.
Tom says AMC lost over 100 million in the quarter and burned 216 million cash. Only those that can't read are buying. Okay, so that was bad then. I'm glad we got that straightened out. Yeah, I'm not buying AMC here, Tom. I'm with you.
All right, guys, stop out there on Cliffs there. Stop out. That's not a bad trade there.
Guys, careful with your longs. The entire market is going negative here. Zoltan's calling it out too. We called it as soon as we started to pull. We continue to pull here.
What happened here, right? Fight at the 450s, guys. I said.
I thought it was because you sneezed, Mitch.
Above 451. Where do we go to? 451.02. 02, though. Be careful. You know what happens there? Those people that are looking for 451 and they're buying, I feel bad, man. You got to be careful there. They turn that around all the time, right? A couple ticks above the level just to try to get you to jump in and not be patient. But, yeah, SPY pulling back. I mean, it's not a bad thing that SPY pulling back. I think now SPY pull back to 442, that's a bad thing. If it can hold, let's say, and close at 445 today, it's a good day, good pullback day, and could just take out the high tomorrow.
How's our friend BBIG looking, or should we not even look at that?
I don't know about
Yeah.
a day like today to look for that upside potential on that, but hey, you never know. You could always set alerts. That's what I like to do. So like for BBIG, I would set an alert at around 350s. It'll alert me if it gets above 350. If it's not above 350, you don't even got to take a look at it. CCL. Guys, the reopening trade, I feel like it's so on. I know that some people are thinking I'm like maybe insane for this, but I really do think that you can look for the reopening trade to start playing in. CCL, second strong day. AAL, I'm looking for these to kind of start really picking up steam. Hilton, I think, is going to lead the way. So if you want to do something a little bit safer and just play like lodging, I think this is the play you can take a look at. I definitely think at the end of the day, one thing that we're going to start seeing is COVID numbers go down because the numbers were so high in January. So relative, they're going to be looking really great, I think. And so we'll be watching into February.
Speaking of your reopening trade, AAL strong today, right? So American Airlines, strong yesterday, still up today, a little bit of continuation, only up 1% here. But after its nice day yesterday, it looks like your thesis there so far playing out.
Cliff's coming back strong after stopping me out. So if you guys want to take a look at that one, you can. I'm not going to get back in it here, but it does look strong. That one did kind of make that nice reversal there. Let's see if we can get back into FCX because that one was a good one to begin with. There's a nice little reversal after the 38 there. All right, so we'll take a little sector analysis here. Energy up 0.68, basic materials up 0.49, financial services behind that. So I did see a call out on BAC from Piper Sandler's, and look at that VWAP bounce trade today. Nice trade there in Bank of America. Should have been watching this. I'm sorry that I didn't give you guys the levels. Look at this hourly trend that we just broke. And now we're just starting to hold above that 46.39, 46.40 area. That's why I'd be watching for us to hold on these pullbacks. But it's looking good there. BAC, maybe let's take a look. Goldman Sachs, yep, VWAP bounce there. And so another one you can take a look at, of course, is JPM. And look at that. They're all very similar, nice bullish trades today. So I would be looking at some financial services today. Maybe Blackstone. Blackstone's actually down today. Maybe look for a reversal there. It did push right out the gates.
I'm going to go ahead and take an L on Microsoft. Lost about 35 and 40 cents on my contracts there. 307 area did not hold like I wanted it to. Now it's going to test the lows. The next time I'll look at this is if it reclaims it, goes above, or if it gets around 305.50. But if did it shake me out and go ahead, I don't know.
Nice to see Neil Hamilton in the chat. Our rounding bottom extraordinaire out here hitting SPY short. It looks like those are some nimble fingers, my friend. Nice trade.
I still can't believe Neil won't come trade with us.
Cliff's looking strong, guys. I did get stopped out, but I'd keep that one on watch. I think it could take out the 18s there. Also looking at FCX. That was part of the trades that we were looking at. This one looking good, interesting right now. Could take off 38.25s here. Risk off the bottom of these candles, 38.10. Don't see it as a bad trade, but I'm just going to be hands off here and just kind of watch to see if we get that extension above. But doesn't look bad here. You can see the whole pattern holding up here. Lucid, how did we do on the Lucid train here? So we pulled back here. Kind of expected a little bit of a pullback. We did see a VWAP fade there, but if it gets back above 30s, be careful. It could squeeze on up. Face forward, I expect also a retracement. As long as it can hold those pullbacks, we should be looking good there.
A couple of ag tech plays performing nicely here. We have CF. Real strong here. CF in the 72 handle. Also MOS, ticker MOS, Mary Oscar Sandy. Those are both approaching the highs. They look like they want to break out. Those are going to be your ag tech space. I'm going to see what else in that space might be moving. Seems to be a mixed board here. Mitch, Donkey Kong, huge bounce off my scanner.
Ooh, the Donkey Kong. I've been looking for it, man.
Let's go for it. I know
Let's go for it. I'm going to try to. All right. I don't normally do this. I'm chasing here, guys. Hold on a second.
Oh, no. Watermelon Slice is on your team. Donkey Kong to the moon. I guess he's asking a question, but still looks like he's on your team.
Watching it right now. Looking for some step up here in the 40s. There you go. Some people stepped up there. I'm going to take a little bit here. Look for a pullback towards the VWAP. I don't mind adding at VWAP here. This is kind of more of the swing trade, guys. We're going to put on a swing trade here on DKNG. So the sizing is like not even a fifth of what I would use on a day trade. So the reason the sizing is lower is I'm going to give myself a full dollar risk on this down towards 21.50s. I'm really looking for it to hold VWAP and not get back below, let's say 22. But I like this as a swing trade. Super Bowl coming in 2 weeks. You're going to have a lot of people talking about betting, and I think that you could get a little bit of a Super Bowl bounce.
It would be fitting if it started its big sell. I was looking at Jenny here because I didn't want to trigger you by telling you to look at it. It would be fitting if DraftKings precipitous fall started when football started, September 9th, September 10th. And then the bounce back towards the mean really started at the Super Bowl. To me, that would be absolutely hilarious. It basically sold off the entire football season, and that was one of the catalysts.
Remember, we did have a spike at the opening of the season. So I did call that one out. That was in September, going into September. We did have a spike then. Then we got the sell-off from that point. So
when was the first football game?
I can look it up, but I don't feel like going on Google right now. But we can take a look at it. I'm looking at DKNG right now.
Oh,
Still hasn't come to VWAP there. No worries, you're good.
I'm clicking the wrong buttons, my friend. I'm figuring this out because to me, this just seems too serendipitous.
Gotta watch Money Mitch, dude. Yeah, we were talking about that move for a while. The gambling move into that. RSI was the beauty into that move also. RSI is still holding well after making that move, but I remember when it first went down, it went from here all the way up to 20s. I sold it at freaking 15 and then was a little annoyed that I missed out on the big gain. But yeah, September, right around September, you can see right here.
Okay,
September 9th.
September 9th was the Thursday night game. September 10th, the day after, it couldn't take out the high. We actually had it was a 2 down. It actually reversed the Friday after the first game. And then it opened, and then it gapped down on Monday after the first weekend, and it's never recovered since then.
Buy the rumors, sell the news, baby. Sell the news. That happens so often. Oh, Microsoft. I'm looking on your chart, and all I see is red.
Yeah, you had Microsoft did not hold a 307 level, so I'm keeping an eye now on around 305.50, 305. We'll see what happened. And this is exactly why, we can take a look. By the way, if you want the short idea on the markets, you've got SPY looking to break above 450. So if you like the short idea, this could be a great risk reward. If it goes ahead and closes above 350 on, say, the 10-minute, you go ahead and stop out if you like the short side.
All right, DraftKings looking great here, guys. It's starting to work for me, so we'll see what happens on DraftKings. It's looking good. We'll see if we can get this to close and really become a swing trade. What we need is some continuation. It get up there towards, let's say, 23s today. That would give me the confidence to, all right, let's go ahead. Let's get this swinging and look for a move towards 25. That's what I'm seeing right now on the daily chart, that it could go ahead and take on out. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on out there. Sark and SQQQ moving nicely, says EQ. Thoughts on Penn, says Jonathan Seller. Similar way. I'd be thinking you probably see the same thing. NCLH being called out by David. The only reason I don't like NCLH is because Norwegian they pushed their cruise lines all the way back until I think April for them to start up again. But it does look strong right now. It does have a nice bottoming around, let's say, 20 or 1915s or 1950. So that's NCLH, of course. We're talking cruise lines. We'll see what happens. CCL is doing well. We'll see. Look at that VWAP bounce. Bomb, right up there towards the high. I like that trade there. RCL doing the same thing, looking well. UAL was another one I saw strong today. Take a look at that. ULCC is one that I'm looking for to eventually get strong. If you're looking for something cheap, this doesn't look bad. And I really like that candle that it put in yesterday. Looked like a nice bottoming type of candle. Of course, if it takes out 12.13, at least you're out. But this could be one that I'd look for a longer term trade. All right, Netflix being mentioned in the chat. I'm going to go through the stocks in the day trading world that you guys are looking out for. So DraftKings looking good for me. I'm going to keep my eye on it a little bit, but really it's eyes off and just worrying about the risk. So what we do is we can set the stop and just be like, okay, so we said 2150s. It really shouldn't get anywhere near that level today. But I'm setting a stop and I can just forget about the trade now. Let the trade work. We'll see what happens on DraftKings. Netflix, I'm taking a look here, see what happens. 1 minute just got back above VWAP. I do like that hold there. The big thing is, though, no volume coming in here. A little volume on that pop, so look for the volume to continue past that level here. So if you're traded up there, you can even just draw a bar and say, okay, I need the volume to pop through that to show me the continuation. Doesn't necessarily I use entry on volume, but it shows me a lot of times confirmation. So I'd want to see the volume bar pop into like around here, and that shows me, okay, we're starting that push here. All right, let's keep going, guys. AMD did not break on the downside. Keep your eyes on that one. Apple being mentioned in the chat. We know how important Apple is. So if Apple can't hold on to 170, I could also see the market pull down significantly. Look at that down candle right now on Apple. It does not look good. SPY cracking hard there, guys. This is
that
what
rejection.
I was concerned about, guys.
That rejection off of 450.
Too many people optimistic on the upside. I actually was looking up to this, and this is the kind of sign that you're in the late stage of buying. One thing that you see on euphoric stage, and that's where I think we got to, is you start seeing headlines like this is a new economy, or you can just buy the dip and make money. New investors come in and they think that literally all you have to do is just buy and you make money. Investors have no fear as everyone, cab drivers, hairdressers, babysitters start diving in and suggesting stocks. Have you guys seen that? I know I have in the market.
I have not been recommended a stock by a cabbie, Uber driver, or babysitter in 10 years. So
I'll tell you right now, I'm hearing it from a lot of people. Mentions of stocks. It was mentioned by AB. AB was just working at a bar, and he just had charts open. And guess what? Some random guy just came up to him, sat next to him, and wanted to tell him about a stock.
Did AB get that guy on Benzinga Pro? That would be my only follow-up question to that.
I mean,
that's a good Jason question
right now.
That's a good Jason question right there. Jason has rubbed off on you, my man.
All right, guys, not looking good. SPY going down there fast, guys. It's actually been making me consider about this Donkey Kong trade, but it's not a big concern if we lose a point on this. So it'd be like an average day trade. So I'm not going to stress too much. I'm just going to let it work here. Normally, if I see the SPY going down that fast, I would be a little bit concerned. But I mean, we haven't broken the 442 on the downside. One thing I can point out though is when we broke right now, it was hard, guys. Look at the volume change. You see the spike right there? That is not a good sign. You know what that shows me? Profit taking. People being scared every time the market ticks down now, and they're like, I got to get my profits. Got to get them. So just be careful out there. You don't need to go too excessive when you see a 1 minute candle on the SPY. Pay attention to kind of more the 15 minutes. Look for 15-minute supports to come into play like it's coming into there, and see if you get a hold there.
Joe Bob Perry saying, y'all act like you came out of the womb with all the knowledge about the entire market. I would push back on that. I said I didn't know several times this morning. I believe all of us here are self-taught, and Mitch only now is taking his CMT training. Did I get that right?
Well, I got a little bit more background with my finance background and degree and doing a lot of studying in college.
So Mitch is the one with the finance background. My background is in business with management. I'm all self-taught with the market.
I sold mattresses for a living.
I sold pianos, but I mean,
I sold newspapers.
I sold AT&T at one point. Door to door.
You're still selling AT&T, aren't you?
Door to door, bro.
All right, real quick on SPY, if you went ahead and took the short idea off of the rejection of 450 that we had mentioned, you can now go ahead and start scaling out as it nears the 447.50s. The contract's there. If you took the 448 idea, you're up about 40%, and you can go ahead and scale out now.
There you go. SIE, I see it mentioned. CMT is chartered market technician.
Yep. Went ahead and threw that in the chat there.
There you go, guys. Like always, guys, if you guys want to go ahead and take a look and work on your trading skills, we do have 2 offers that I would mention, guys. Check out our trading school with Mark Petrino. Of course, that's kind of more my style. If you're kind of more my style technical trader and you want to be learning first the technicals, I always say that you got to learn a little bit more than just the technicals. I like to combine the 3 variables of technical, fundamentals, and story. But like always, if that's kind of more your style, check out that trading school. If you're into options and you want to learn a little bit from Nick Shaheen, I'll tell you guys to check that out also. That's the option trading school mentorship. Definitely check that on out, guys. Find what works best for you, and then maybe you guys can learn something also. All right, guys. Definitely, I'm glad I got the kind of vibes going here with the music, because this market is not what we wanted to see. You know, as much as I thought the market was going to come down today, I mean, I don't want the market to come down. I mean,
I do.
I'm not savage.
I'll take the other side of that. I do want the market to come down.
Come on down.
I want valuations to matter again. You know, I started off by saying that, you know, SPY, I think that we might still have to retest those lows. It might continue to bounce. Looks like that bounce is dying out. I want to retest those lows. I want to know where we stand. I want valuations to make sense. I want ratios to come back in. So to me, it's not really a big deal. You know, it might hurt in the short term, but I swear to you, this is the best overall thing for your account when we get back to some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, look, if you're younger, right? If you're on the younger side of things, you want the market to come down because you wanted to get it lower and lower. Now, of course, if you're at the retirement range, then I understand the concern absolutely, and I hope you're protected. And Mitch, goddamn,
What up?
The
music, my friend.
It's not that loud in my ears.
Oh man,
Ryan, what do you think?
He's blowing people away over here.
Not only did you sell pianos, but you're also playing them.
I mean,
SPY,
playing them in the
by
background.
No, we're just teasing you, man.
I see. I don't see anybody mentioning the music's too loud.
You've got SPY, by the way, going ahead and tested the 447. What a nice red candle here on that 10 minutes. It's going to close in about 3 minutes or so. We do it for the chat. If chat's okay with it, we can leave it be.
You guys are just sensitive. You guys listen to music like girls, don't you? Like just like.
I don't know what sex has to do with listening to music, but regardless,
Come on,
you do have
guys.
votes.
Turn it up, says America. No, I'm just playing. I was just joking, guys. I didn't want to blow out your ears there.
No,
let's go ahead. Let's keep going, guys. Mitch, the music sucks. Well, I mean, goodbye, good fella.
You know what they want to listen to? They want to listen to like some 50 Cent, maybe a little Eminem. You know?
Why would we want to listen to that while we're trading?
I'm joking.
Yeah, that's. I got it.
Put the
Ryan, what did
Weeknd
you
on.
grow up
Oh, yeah,
listening to? I'm curious.
Zunaid can sing like
man,
the Weeknd.
being in Chicago growing up, I mean, I listened to, you know, like B96 was probably the radio station that I listened to the most. It wasn't until I became a little bit more educated that I started to realize how much better classic rock is than a lot of the stuff that was being produced in the 90s and the aughts. So, I mean, I don't know. I grew up with the hip hop, rap, grunge, and then, you know, went into classic rock. That's where I reside.
Someone mentioned No Country. I loved Tim McGraw. A few of his songs growing up. I think was it Nelly? Was it Nelly and Tim McGraw that did like a little song together? I think it was
short AT&T here, guys. Short AT&T. Let's see what happens. Looking at this trade here, just tipped off of that VWAP. I'm looking for it to break down now and just take it out. 25, that last high is 27 is our risk. So 28 would get us out. We're looking for a quick little down move below to that wick and just wash out that. I like it on the 5 minute. If you look on the 5 minute, you'll see a little bit more of a longer term kind of bear pattern here. If it breaks down and can take out the lower trend line, which is down here, take on down towards the 24, I think it could take out all the way towards 23.71. So it's a good risk to return. We'll see if we can get it.
A couple of things here. People making fun of my old AIM name. That's exactly right. That's when I was into the rap and hip hop. Raul Martinez trying to throw some salt on me by saying I listened to Insane Clown Posse. I actually did have one of their albums, so I'm not even going to dispute that. Good call. We have someone talking about the Dire Straits, one of the, just an absolute classic. Mark Knopfler is an absolute G. And of course, we have Tom here keeping it with the market. Tom, I love when you're validating what I'm saying, my man. I completely agree with you. We revisit lows. Glad you got out there. Paul, real quick, says throw Neil Peart on. Neil Peart, arguably one of the greatest drummers of all time. Cannot go wrong with some.
I'd rather listen to Neil Hamilton. Doesn't he
I
drum
like to
out?
listen to Neil Hamilton too, actually. He's not much for the singing, but he's quite good at a number of other things.
You know, I haven't had a chance to hear him play. I haven't had a chance. That's what it should be.
I haven't really heard him play guitar. I've seen him rip some like, you know, chords or arpeggios or whatever. I see his hands moving around on it, but I've never actually heard him play.
Yeah, I feel like in one of our quarterly meetings or the 9:45 calls, we need to have a 5-minute Neil session.
Neil?
Sweet.
Neil?
That'd be sweet.
Outlaw country, dude. That's what it's all about. You guys, come on, get it right.
Oh,
what'd you listen
got
to?
A Shakedown Street call. All right, Shakedown Street's a good song.
What'd you listen to, Mitch?
You know, a little George Strait, you know, Amarillo.
All
Amarillo right. Morning, you know.
All right. I hear you.
You got to get that deep tone country. That's the only country I like, you know. You know what I'm talking about? We're not talking that what do you call him? Luke Bryan type of country. No,
you know,
no.
Every country song I've heard mentions a Chevy, a Ford, a Chevrolet.
You know that's Chevy called? And Chevrolet are the same, right?
You know what that's called?
You can tell I'm not cultured in that area, can't you?
Know what that's called? That's called America, baby.
I mean, no, for sure.
America,
absolutely.
right,
Just like
baby.
in every rap song you hear, you know, things.
Okay.
Amarillo by morning.
I'm going to try to bring this back to the market here. I'm looking at...
that's club. If you know that song Amarillo by morning, you know country right there.
What is today? Tuesday? So we've got GM ahead.
Yeah. So real quick,
you threw up the earnings graphic for the first time. That's how tired you were of our conversation.
Well, Mitch is out here singing. You don't know the difference between Chevrolet and Chevy. I gotta bring us back here somehow. So real quick, while you guys are going through your music lesson, I basically pulled up all of the stocks that were going to report earnings today. And if you cycle through these, realize that all of them are down right now. The only exception here is Google is still up, but we are basically flat. It looks like this is going to go green to red here. And, you know, looking at the VIX, VIX actually did make a red to green move. So unfortunately, if you're going to play any of these tonight for the print, be careful. I know one of the ones that people love to play ahead of this is H&R Block for tax season. I don't know. H&R Block looking a little heavy today. Every other stock on this list in the red, the exception of Alphabet, which looks to be going there soon. So to me, this is, obviously earnings can change this. Companies that report good earnings and have good guidance, they may trade up. But this is just something to keep an eye on going into here. I'm actually not looking to play any of these into the print. And I actually do enjoy playing Starbucks quite a bit. But I'm going to pass today. So no earnings trades from me today.
Shout out to Enver for the graphic one, too. Someone told Jason to give me
I rely on this graphic, Zunaid. I rely on this graphic every time. When it's around earnings season when we produce this, it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Yeah, guys, and it's not easy to make. I'll tell you guys, I used to make it. Now Enver does it. God bless
Enver, dude. God bless Enver, because like I'll like
awesome.
Send him the list. I'll be like, hey man, here's earnings, and he's like, bro, it's Friday. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. Look, I need this. I need this in 7 hours. Can you do it? But some big shout out to Enver. You've got the SPY coming up a little bit. I'm expecting it to test VWAP again, right at the 449.50. So I still have a few contracts that I'm short, but I'm expecting a VWAP test. That's okay. I'll be okay. This is why you scale out at the area that we called out.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's take a second here. I wanted to go ahead and you guys in the chat, tell us what to take a look at. You know, we're not trading right now. I do got T on, but if you guys got something to definitely take a look at, throw it up in the chat. I do see a lot of people kind of taking a little bit of a rest period with the SPY pulling back like that. We'll see if we can get back up to those levels, but definitely throw up some stocks up there.
What kind of tea are you steeping there?
Right now it's looking like black tea, but I want some green tea on this, not black tea. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, I like that. I just want to address something here real quick. Patrick is asking, where's Neil? Is he still in Benzinga? Misget technical. A lot of us misget technical. I can assure you that Neil is still an integral part of Benzinga. He is busy driving us forward. We have a lot of exciting stuff for you, so stay tuned. Believe me, Neil is hard at work.
Yes.
Chris says, this chat sure seems like the country music type of chat, lol. Chris, I would suggest you open your eyes and ears. I have no idea where you got that from. I believe if they put country on, frankly, so no, I completely disagree with that. I don't think
Teardrops on my guitar from Taylor Swift, Mitch. That's what we need.
I got you guys.
It's not going to be monetized, right? So let's let it rip.
You guys
like
want
the market is.
I'm really more of an everyday reggae type of fan. Stick Figure, if you guys know Stick Figure.
Yes, I do. I do know.
That's my guy right there. I can listen to that all day.
Right? Burial Ground. That is an awesome song. Oh man, that's a deep cut, Mitch. Well, you know what? We need a Mitch's deep cuts show, like pronto.
I've done them on Sunday. I've done them on Sunday where I just play like my music, reggae.
Oh man!
When the football season's over, invite me on Sunday for a Mitch's deep cut podcast. We'll get into the weeds.
Island Boys.
Someone mentioned Shania Twain. You were making me think of my ex when I was 13. Good God! Oh, you're taking me back, my man. You're taking me back.
Oh man. Let's go, guys.
You gonna have me in tears now.
All right, guys,
you know what's crazy? Well, what's crazy about this SPY thing is I already had mentioned that I was looking to go short. When the market comes up like this on a bounce, obviously my contracts are going or decreasing in terms of value, but I scaled out some okay. But it's like mentally, I'm like, shit, I should have sold everything around here. I should have sold everything around here. I could have bought back cheaper. And it's like, that's such a tough mental battle that I feel like so many traders go through. Because even though you know it can come back and test VWAP, you're anticipating it, but it's still so tough to be like, damn, I should have sold everything here. I would have been so great in green and whatever. Any of y'all deal with that?
Michael says, if you play country, I take my like back from you. Michael, you and I can hang out and go have a beer. I like that.
Hey, that's what it's all about. I mean, we all got our own styles. That's why I put on a little bit of lo-fi for us and just keep it kind of simple. But we'll see. I
wonder what Michael Feenan listens to.
Hey, who knows? Maybe some rock. Maybe, hey. We'll see what's going on out there, guys. All right, so one question. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with AT&T, Warner Media, and Discovery. I think this is very interesting because the talk could be also brought in with Netflix. Is Netflix reaching maturity? It would be the question on the Netflix side, but we'll see what happens, right? I mean, to me, I personally think that this is a really great deal for Discovery. I think it's one of the best streaming services out there. Why? Because, and you guys can do me the favor. Poll your spouse. Ask them what channels would they watch if they'd watch TV. And I think about, let's say 5 out of 6 of the networks are probably going to be on the Discovery umbrella. So just keep your eyes out on that. I do think it's going to have a good year. But Warner Media, HBO Go, HBO Max. I have it right now. I like watching the movies that are, in movie theaters, and I don't have to go to the movies. That's why I have it. So I don't know what do you guys think about the combination of Warner Media with Discovery?
Yeah, I think that the entire content space is going to be due for some consolidation. I actually think that's the next step here. And in fact, just to take that a step forward, I'm wondering which companies consolidate and then just reinvent cable TV. That's, I think, ultimately what's going to happen here. One of the things that I will say about the streaming services is that I actually still have cable. And one of the reasons that I have cable TV is because I actually package it with my internet, which is more important than any streaming service. The internet connection is numero uno. I don't like having to go to different services and loading this and using different remotes and doing all of that. So to me, one of the boxes or one of the services that plays all of these or that bundles you into a bunch of these different packages, especially after they consolidate, that might be the path here. it seems to me the one thing that I used to bank on was that I liked having cable TV because if the internet went out, at least I still had something to do. It seems that nowadays when my internet goes out, so too does my TV. So that entire benefit seems to be lost the more and more we move forward here. Mitch, as far as consolidation goes, are there any of these smaller streaming services that you see getting bought out, excuse me, by some of the bigger guys?
Yeah, I would look at a company like Vizio potentially in the long run being bought out. Why? Just because they have the ad tech that they're trying to build on. I think what you need to watch for also is programmatic advertising companies. Why? Because with streaming services, that's what you move into, right? It's no longer the regular traditional way of going about advertising. You need what? Digital advertising, and you need to be targeting the right customer. Just because, like, let's say if I'm streaming, right? They give me sports betting commercials. I think they're doing well. They kind of know who I am. But if I see something on, like, let's say even a Generac, I'm not buying a Generac right now. So you got to know how to target the customer. That's the next age in advertisement that we're stepping into, which is programmatic advertisement. I talked about it big in 2021. Now I think it's even bigger in 2022.
It sounds about right to me, actually.
All right, Cliff's moving. A lot of stocks starting to move, so we're going to go through stocks in the chat. We'll keep running through there and see what happens out there. I see Shop called out, Vail being called out. So let's start going through some of these stocks. If you guys want to take the lead also on some of these, you can also. I'm trying to see if I get out right here on AT&T. It's right on my wrist spot, but I don't see much shares filling right here. There's 32s. I'm out.
Yeah,
12-cent loss. It's not a bad thing.
I've got a meeting in 10. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got.
I'm gonna bounce. I've got a meeting, so I'm gonna go walk around, get some blood flowing there. Always a pleasure, and hopefully we taught you some risk reward stuff. Not the best trading day for me, but the SPY puts definitely helped a lot. There you go. We got to do a little bit of this, Ryan. We got to get that blood flowing.
Gotta get that blood flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Got my Fitbit, baby.
Yep.
What a fail Fitbit was, by the way, after it went public. Good God bless them.
Hey.
But anyway. You guys have a good time.
Keep on running, running.
I expect some Taylor Swift tomorrow. See y'all.
All right. Let's go.
What a sign off that was.
Taylor Swift, guys. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Running the hamster wheel today. I feel like it. I feel like I'm on the hamster wheel. I'm just running and running and running. We'll see what happens, guys. But definitely it's a hamster wheel type of market out here. Let's go back towards FCX. That could be a trade that we take and try to get right back into it. We did take our first gain. It is coming on back here. Nice 15-minute chart now. So 38 on the downside, I would call out. There would be the risk there. But it is looking interesting here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my chart. FCX 15-minute pattern here looks interesting. I definitely use that low. You could use that low 87 or kind of the close above 38 looking good to take out the high at 38.50s. I do like this trade. I'm going to actually take it here, guys. All right, guys, took a little bit there. It's starting to get a little bit of a starter. We don't want to see it back below that 38. 38's the risk right now. Don't mind adding at 38.10, but I'm going to hold towards that 38 here. This is the 15-minute pattern trade, guys.
I'm just looking around at some other. To interrupt, Mitch, if something happens with your trade.
By all means.
FNZen saying Tesla running stop signs. I thought that that was a play on words for the run that it's currently doing. We definitely sold off here. We're bouncing pretty ferociously. I'd like to see this volume tick up for us to hold this. Otherwise, I think maybe we come back in. One of the other ones here, I just had it up a second ago. I completely lost it. It was one of you guys. It was Netflix. Thank you. Netflix. This is great trading action today, right? So yesterday, here's my line from yesterday, right? This was the break that we were looking for. This was a feed up trade, right? As soon as you took this here, this thing never looked back. Trading action today is great, right? We sold off. So the weak hands that are in profit took it and moved on to the next. And then we actually, this kind of correlates with the market kind of coming back in a little bit, and Netflix wants some highs. So remember, we are in this gap. This is going to be tough. I like this gap to fill. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to go straight there. I do like this gap to fill, though. Still have another 70 points here on Netflix. So good trade in action here. I'd actually wait for this to pull back before giving a stab at it.
All right, Cliff's getting up there at the 18. That did stop me out today, but it was a good trade. I just probably traded it on too early of a time frame here on the 5-minute. It held decent there at the 1750 there. You can see the sideways action on that Cliffs. Doesn't look bad for a continuation. Also, I would look at X having a good day. These were two that we were looking at, and they've done well. So we'll see what happens here on this FCX trade, see if we can start making some more money here and get back up to the highs, but not a bad trade there. Look, and we'll see what happens on DKNG, guys. I'm still in this one. Now it's looking really well as we're starting to get back up there towards the high of the day. And I could add here and then let it continue to work. But instead of ruining my entry, I'm just going to stick around, let this work here, and we'll see what happens at DraftKings. By the end of the day, this is our swing trade put on today, DraftKings.
And one more thing, FCX, I really like FCX. I really like X. I see John's comment here in the chat, and I agree with John 100% here. Good time to own FCX. Completely agree. Anything that's connected to infrastructure, I really think that these are going to be good points to own them. I know Mitch is trading off technicals, which is great. He's outlining all of his trades. That's all well and good. But I do agree. I think that this is actually a good time to own these stocks because I think you might get some multi-day moves here as these apply to infrastructure. So John, I'm with you there. These would be stocks that I'd actually be looking to trade and swing in this environment. Now, the one thing here, I talk about it all the time. We're looking at the VIX. VIX is back in the red. So it looks like that head fake that we got, we're currently at 24. I actually think this could come into the 20 range before we actually get our next sell-off. So again, I'm still in the camp with Tom and Mitch that we're going to go lower, but I don't know that that's really going to be today. So just play the hand that you're dealt.
Keeping my eye on this FCX here.
AMC still positive. It's given back its gains, but it's still positive.
All right, someone wants me to take a look at X and where I would be looking for an entry. Of course, this is going to be based off of my opinion, not for you guys to be kind of piggybacking off of, but just understand, right? So a lot of times I'm looking for what? Drive on up and then pull back action, right? So drives, pull back, drives, pull back, drives, pull back. It's a game. A lot of times the market plays. You could clearly see it here on X. Now you get the third drive, right? And so a lot of times what I talk about, right, after the 3 resistance tries to break out, 3 resistance tries, you got one up there and you got that first one. What you want to do is you want to see the support hold. So what I usually go is I go on a deeper time frame to try to find the resistance or support. So I used pre-market resistance here to look, is it creating support in the intraday? You can look here. What is it doing? 21.24s, that was support. 21.24, look where this stock went down to, 21.23. Literally almost to the tick, it held that support. That's the level that you're looking for it to hold on the pullback. It could come all the way back down to that 21.24 and then take out the highs. So just be careful on pullbacks here. Another thing that you could use is a trend line. Let's say if you're a trend follower, you could be following the trend here and drawing a trend line and saying, if it breaks the trend, I'm out. But if it holds trend, I'm staying in. All right, I got to get back onto my FCX trade. If you can take a look, I'm going to focus on this one. It's right on my risk here. MGI being called out in the chat. BA is having a good day. Took profits on the calls there. So we'll see what happens out there. Oh, DraftKings. I'm sorry, Jeremo. I just scrolled up and I saw your DraftKings message. I have 22.50 for DraftKings on the first entry. I can add to the position. It's only half of my swing trade position. And I'll just be honest, guys. It's only 20 shares. I normally don't tell you guys exactly my share size there, but it's only 20 shares. So what does that do? That gives me a little ability to start getting into the trade there. I'm looking to add on to the position. That'd be another 20 shares, but We'll see if we get down there to a level where I feel comfortable adding. Right now is not the levels. Not sure why you like FCX there. FCCO, Southern Copper, has higher EPS and yield. That's not a bad look. You know, Jim, if that one's you feel is better relative, then just keep an eye out on that one. Let's take a look at it. SCCO, Southern Copper, not a bad thing. Maybe it doesn't trade as well. You know, it's all about patterns. You got to see how the patterns work. But it's not a bad one to take a look at. Has gone sideways, likes a 200-day average. 50-day below it. I like this curving action. You just need to get into this area and you'll look really bullish on this SCCO. I want to see it get back on up there towards the 68s. We'll have all the moving averages below it, which is a really good look when you see this kind of moving average right there.
Sorry to leave you hanging there, Mitch.
No worries. You can always come in and come out, man. That's what's the fun part about this. Let's keep on going out there. Netflix calls. Can you watch Netflix? Looks like someone's trading Netflix there. So let me take a look here. All right, taking a look here at Netflix. It's still trying to work its way. I would be personally watching like hourly candles on this because you're going to see a slow move towards that shadow. It shouldn't be a fast move into that shadow. So I would just be watching the hourly trend. As long as it can keep holding hourly trends, you're looking well. And if you can see today, you didn't even test down here towards the 420s. So it's a strong day also there for Netflix. To me, as long as it holds the low on this 1 hour candle right now, 427.11s, you're still looking to the upside. All right, guys, looking at FCX, probably going to take a little bit more here at 38.10 if we get a little bit of a pullback here. Let's go ahead and put a limit order out there at 38.10s. It's already starting to spike there. Might have missed a second there where it did hit 38.10s, but just looking at the trades here, FCX, just got an order to try to add above that. If you look at the hourly, we're running into an hourly pattern and a 15-minute pattern. So the 15-minute held really well there at the 38s. Now we just needed to take out the highs. Guys, I just got an alert for my bag. Yes, I said it. My bag. My bag, Genie, making a little bit of a move today. I think Genie finally starting to catch a little bit of that bottom there. Look, 695s. It's not looking too bad. You guys out in the chat, tell me what you guys think on this chart. Did I find the bottom finally? I'm watching this bad boy. You guys know I'm all the way over here, guys. I'm as honest as it can be. Look at that circle. That's where I'm at. I'm holding on tight. Let's just say
that 10s.
Under 11s. It's in the 1030s actually, where I'm actually exact pricing. So I'm working my way. I could add still. I still have some money in that account to maybe add that I made off of profits, but I'm holding off, guys. There's some Genie leaves. Someone believes with me. We'll see what happens, guys.
Spielberg saying, I am German and I would never put even 1 cent into German banks. I don't have the angle on the banks. I will say though, banks in general, American banks, of course, that trade has been very, very difficult. I like JPM, I like Goldman Sachs as stocks, but very, very difficult to trade. I have not been successful at it.
Yeah, there's not many times I'd hold the bag, guys. But when I believe in the company and I truly believe in it, I'm going to stay in it. It's an investment. It's something that I don't think I will probably, if I do sell it, it's probably going to be around retirement time. Let's just say that, guys. That's how long I think Genius Sports is going to be around.
Yeah, and you know what, Mitch? I think it's a really good point that you're even bringing that up because I've got one of those too. I'm of course long ONDS. That's Oscar November Delta Sandy. That is a.
Tell us about that story.
Say again.
Tell us about that story.
So that's basically like an automated drone play, and they're starting to pick up. They're actually starting to pick up orders. One of the reasons why the stock is depressed is because it currently does eat cash. We're in a rising interest rate environment. There's only so much you can do there, and then it's also thinly traded. So if there are no bids, that thing can move around like crazy. The story here is actually great. They continue to get contracts, which is good for the thesis. I really think that oil and gas exploration is going to move to automated drone technology for monitoring. I think law enforcement and fire departments are going to move to this type of technology as it becomes more and more feasible. Remember, these are the types of things where someone in a protected command center can press a button and the drone goes through its automated program and sends back information to those agent or departments or municipalities, whatever, the police department, fire department, oil and gas company, et cetera, et cetera. To me, this just seems like a very easy and efficient way to monitor some of these things that are in remote locations or in dangerous locations. So I definitely see this playing forward. I think that this might take a couple of years to actually play forward here. So my average price is around 8 and ONDS is currently at 5. So I am bag holding, but again, my thesis here is forward looking, and I'm ready to hold this for a couple of years.
All right, DraftKings trying up there for the high of the day, guys. 2270s breaking through the high there. DKNG starting to work for me. So let's see what happens in that swing trade. You guys know I'm taking this as the Super Bowl trade. So what does that mean? That means it's going to be about a week and a half trade because I'm always about to sell the news type. I don't want to hold it into the actual Friday before the Super Bowl. I want to be able to sell into that move. So I'd be looking probably to sell into the Thursday of next week. So that's what I'm looking for right now in this swing trade of DraftKings. We'll see if it can do that. All right, guys, order out to add there 3810s. We'll see you on FCX there. But it's still battling there. It's just a battle right now. Let's take a look at the SPY. Take a look at the overall market. Overall market coming on back down. So watch out, guys. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a pullback action here in the SPY. But to me, sideways day. And that's what I kind of expected. I didn't want to see a really down day. But for right now, it's not looking that bad. Like I've talked about, if we can close above, let's say even 445s, I'm not going to be feeling too bad about the market. I do see a little bit of a bounce there. But like always, I'm not going to be overreacting until we can really hold above 450 for the market.
And you know what, Mitch, even if we stay kind of flat, we don't really have any outside move to the downside or the upside today, I think earnings might then be your catalyst for tomorrow's session. So I too, it wouldn't really bother me if the market closed lower here. We had a nice little day yesterday. If we come in a little bit, I mean, we're looking at the S&P, we're currently at 4,500. I mean, if we came into, let me get a level here for you. If we came into a 44.80 or 44.75, I would really have no concern there, especially if the earnings reports from some of the big companies tonight end up being strong. That might actually give you fuel for tomorrow. So that's, again, I don't want to overreact. I don't want to have these knee-jerk reactions to these big moves in the market. I think that's what's inevitably going to get me chopped up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think it's one thing that I saw yesterday is exuberance on the way up. And the moment that you start seeing the bounce, everyone's like, this is it. This is the bottom. Guys, go on Twitter. It's the bottom. It's the bottom. I'm the hero. I'm calling it. And that's not the game to play right now. I don't think it's the game to play. One reason why I think Dennis Dick is killing it in this market. It's why? Because he plays both sides, guys. He's arbitraging into the move so he can extract the alpha, the momentum, and then let the volatility just keep playing the game. I think those are the people that are killing it right now. Pairs traders, arbitrage is what's making the good money out there. So just to kind of put it out there, guys, what could possibly be making money in this environment? Things like that.
Here, Top Chef has a question. This is a fairly basic option question, but this is really important for understanding what it is that you own and what it is that you're trading here. Can you guys maybe help me understand? If you buy a put, how much can you lose? Is it just the cost of the contract or more if you don't sell the contract? Hope that makes sense. Okay, so there's two things that can happen when you buy a put. A, that put can be exercised into a short position, or B, that put can expire worthless. So let's examine what can happen in both of those situations. If the put expires worthless, you lose your investment. You lose what you put into the option. So if you paid $100 for your single put, you're going to lose 100% your $100 investment. The problem is let's say you buy a put that ends up getting exercised into a short, and then that stock reverses. Now your loss or your potential downside is unlimited because you have an open short and obviously shorts have unlimited risk in theory. Is a stock that's $10 going to go to $1,000 overnight? No, but again, we're talking about process here, not actual examples. So it really matters what you do with that put. If the put goes down on you and you sell it, it won't be exercised. I'm pretty sure that you can sell it for a penny. just get out of it. But again, if it's going to expire worthless, it's going to expire worthless. You really only need to worry about selling the put if that's going to be in the money. I hope that helps. If you need more information than that, I would advise that you start at Options Education, or go to our options school. Learn about how these instruments actually work before actually trading them, and better yet, paper trade them first.
All right, guys. Interesting chart here. Pattern called out there. UPS. We can take a look here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it up.
Oh my God, we're
playing
both
games.
trying to do it, Mitch.
All right, so we'll see what happens on this one. Looks like a nice little 5-minute setup. I'd also watch the 15, right? Because one thing that I see happen a lot is 5-minute kind of flags become 15-minute flags. The 5-minute trader gets stopped out, and the 15-minute trader makes the money here. A lot of that would be a pullback to like this 9 EMA here around 225.50s, and then a breakout. So I'd be careful here. I'd just make sure that it hold VWAP if I was trading off the 5-minute. And if I was trading off the 15-minute, I would probably be looking for the pullback to get in, not necessarily jumping in here. So just be careful there. But just to kind of mention that, UPS, FedEx also, take a look at that, because they did put out a kind of negative news that they were taking away their express domestic shipping. So this one could be actually a short, and also UPS actually be a long. UPS got earnings today, so we'll see how this one kind of trades. But definitely kind of more of a 15-minute pattern I could see there. But the 5-minute also could be something you're going after. You're seeing it hold really well. You're trying to like hold off the support. So at least you know your levels, and we'll see if we get a breakout there of UPS. All right, guys, let's go ahead. We're going to start wrapping on up here in a little bit. Around 10:45, we'll be bringing on Devin Winters, talking about probably some Tesla trades, some tech trades. But like always, guys, smash the like. I do need to get towards a certain like goal to get my man Devin on. So we're going to set that at 400, guys. So we're at 320 likes right now. Do me the favor, hit the like. Let's keep it going. All right, Ryan, I have a question. I've been thinking about this, and well, let's take a look at it. Is oil. What is going on with oil, man? This is insane that we can just keep going on up. I mean, essentially, we haven't, at least I feel, I mean, we haven't gone down, I feel like, in oil since the pandemic. At least that's what it feels like to me. And we just keep breaking through highs. Now,
Yeah,
CVX.
absolutely. I think you've got some. I'll leave this as general as possible, but I think that you have some political decisions that are being made that actually support higher oil prices. But aside from that, energy has been the one sector this year that people have been able to hide out in. Take a look at the XLE, Mitch. Go ahead and pull up the XLE on your chart there. You can see that this has really been one of the only things that's been positive since the beginning of the year. Oil stocks are going to be in there. And to me, it's just like, it seems, where else are you going to go? Where else are you going to invest your money? I do say that I think oil is going to get hit. I think energy names in general are going to get hit. I just can't tell you when. And right now, as you were outlining, this thing is a freight train, right? So I'm not getting ready to jump in front of a freight train and try to call a reversal. So to me, I don't know, man. I think that it's a mixture of macro events going on, and really energy being the only sector that has performed since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and it's one thing to keep an eye out. One thing I always look for is the rotation. One thing that we talked about in November and December was energy, the one to watch going into the beginning of the year. I was looking at solar stocks in November and October. That's what pointed me towards potentially seeing the seasonality and cyclicalness coming into these energy plays. And this is exactly what it is. This happens often when you get into the winter months, these energy stocks go up. Yeah. And so one thing to keep in mind always when you get around this time, does the environment support the energy trade? And in this environment, it hell of a yeah, it is supported. Inflation up high, Russia potentially going into war, OPEC cutting supply, and now they're going to be maybe potentially raising supply. So that's what you got to keep an eye out on, the OPEC. But everything in the environment gave it the upside look. That's what we want to kind of be trading into a sector and looking for that rotation to continue playing in. Here, energy still holding well. I think this is going to eventually have a sick rotation. So I'm keeping an eye on it for eventually shorting oil. but it doesn't want to turn around. And for right now, well, the important thing to do also is you don't see me shorten at the resistance here, right? I'm actually going to wait for a breakdown of support. Show me that it's really wanting to flush. Then I'll join the party on the short side.
Yeah, show me that the train is slowing down before I get on the tracks. Makes complete sense. Mitch, you had talked about energy prices in winter, and the point about energy and oil is well made. But look at oil. Pull up oil on your chart. This is the natural gas, ProShares Ultra Bloomberg natural gas. This thing is nearly a double in what feels like a week. January 20th, this instrument is $26. It is $45 today. And it's actually off its highs. This was as high as 40, almost 48. So, just the energy trade has been working. Oil, gas, that's been the one thing that has worked this year. I'm sorry for saying the same thing 3 times, but that seems to be where people were hiding out. This trade was an absolute monster. I wish I hit this. There's a guy in our happy hour show that was talking about this, gave this to you at 26, 27. I remember me thinking, oh, natural gas. I'm not really a natural gas trader. Here I am looking at it a week later. Things almost a double from there. Just unreal.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going, guys. Looks like we are at 348 likes. We're trying to bring on Devin. You guys do me the favor, smash up that like button. Let's get it up to 400. You guys that are sneaking at work, let's go ahead. Let's get that like button on. Can't blame you for trading while you're working, because I used to do it too.
Me too. Me too.
So we definitely, Ryan and I have both been there, and there's a reason why we work in the markets is we love this. So definitely, like even Devin says in the chat, smash on that like. Let's go.
You can't turn it off. It's hard to turn off.
All right, so Boyle there, kind of in the lingo. We're gonna take a look at the overall market before we say bye to Ryan here. What are you thinking? Here's a 5-minute of the SPY. Do you kind of think we're going to get some real downside crack, or do you think this is kind of just more of a little sideways action?
I think at the end of the day, we're going to be somewhat sideways. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a push down closer to lunch or maybe in the afternoon, but I think that we finish near flat, nothing crazy. I think that we're going to pretty much react to the earnings tonight. I expect the earnings tonight to be good. The real question for me is, what's the guidance going to be? That I don't know yet. I'm going to be hanging on that. That's what I'm watching. As far as the actual tickers, SPY, IWM, and VIX. Those are the 3 things that I got my eye on today.
All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I will get you guys the link in the chat. I did see someone mention here, how do I find the options program? I'll go ahead and I'll throw it up in the chat in a second so you guys can check it on out. But like always, come on Thursdays, guys, where we have Nick Shaheen, and you guys could also check out a little bit more about the program. But if you guys want to check it on out, I'll throw up the link in the chat, and we'll keep it going, guys. Ryan, that's going to probably do it. I'll see you tomorrow. Like always, smash the like, guys, for Ryan sticking around here towards 10:46, a little bit of overtime. So like always, hit that like button, and we'll see you tomorrow, Ryan.
Good luck, everybody. I hope you and Devin kill it. Take care.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. All right. Clap it on up. Clap it on up for my man Ryan. Let's go ahead and let's get into the interview time of live trading, where we go ahead and bring on a trader that was working the same time that we were. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on Devin. What's up, my friend?
Yo, what's up, guys? How we doing?
What's going on, man? It's good to have you on the show. Looks like a little bit of a choppy action here, but what you see in the market today, what you maybe traded, and what should we look forward to maybe coming up? For sure.
Yesterday was obviously a really bullish day. We had a lot of runners throughout the day, which was awesome, and we're pulling off of that a bit this morning here. So I saw some news this morning that Tesla had to recall a ton of vehicles. I think it was like 55,000 vehicles due to their rolling through stop sign function. And then off the open, I realized it was quite a bit weaker than the Qs and SPY. So I ended up getting short. I can pull up my screen here and kind of
yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and pull it on up. Tesla. watching right now, guys. I might stop out of FCX. I'm just keeping an eye on it right now. It's on my stop out point, but of course, I'm looking for some volume to fill down below this 38 and show me that yeah, we're going to take it down towards the 90s. So right now, it's just battling that 38 for FCX. Devin, you can share your screen whenever you'd like, and I'll bring it on up.
Yeah.
Looking here to see if FCX can just find the bottom and just bounce off of that. We're watching it right now. Want to hold this 38 here, not get down there towards, let's say, the 87s, but keeping a close eye on it right now. Austin City, let's go. You guys smash up that like. Let's do it. M Power, man, I need one of those M3s or M4s. Those things are good to rip.
Those things are awesome.
Yeah. Timothy in the chat with a $5 super chat. If you got a stock you guys want to take a look at, Tim, throw it up in the chat. I see you with the super chat there, $5. We appreciate that, and we'll cover a stock for you if you'd like. All right, Devin.
I'm traveling right now, so my setup's a little different. It's not letting me share my screen for some reason.
Not a worry. Then don't worry about it too much. What stock we're going to take a look at? Tesla.
Yeah, pull up Tesla, and then we'll pull up the Qs after that. So
all right.
Pull this up on the 1 minute if you can, because that's where I broke it down off the open. So
let's do it.
What I saw here, right around, let's see what time it was. Right around like 9:41.
Let's walk us through. Like, this is the pre-market look, right? Right here, I'll even take off that candle. What are you thinking pre-market when you see Tesla like this?
Okay. So if we want to check out pre-market, pull this thing up on the 180. This thing's really interesting on the 180 right now. The 180 4-hour chart.
Got you. I got you.
So this thing is in a massive channel. You can pull it up on the daily too. Either one works. But okay, so this thing's in a downward channel right now on the 4-hour chart. If you look at it from a really broad perspective, and I totally thought this morning we were going to break out of this thing. So I was looking at this thing for a break above 947 to the upside. But then I saw the news on the Tesla recalls, and then I saw this thing was weaker than Qs and SPY off the market open. So what I do every single morning is I always have pre-market levels marked. So I mark out that pre-market low, that pre-market high. That way I'm not biased based off of what the market does. I don't want to just mark the highs, just mark the lows. I don't want to just have plans to one side. I want to be able to trade to whatever side the market decides to go that day. So right off the open, I see Tesla was very weak compared to Qs, and it formed a bear flag on the 1 minute. And on the 1 minute at 9:40, there was a big wick towards the top, and that candle went red at 9:40. And on top of that, Qs was about to break pre-market low, so it's a perfect mix. So Tesla was about to break out of this bear flag. It had a lot of volume on the candle. And Qs was breaking pre-market low. So I went ahead and entered there and caught about 10% down. It ended up going about 20% on that play. But it flushed down for about four minutes or so. Really nice scalp on that one.
Nice flush down right there. Nice little scalp through the lows. And one thing I did like is that you combined the Qs. So let's take a look at what happened at the Qs in that moment, right? And so if you take a look here, you'll see kind of a similar pattern trade there. You see it's trying to take out this low here. We're going to point out the 940 candle here. So that's right here on this red candle here. So I'm going to do a circle on that so you guys can see right there when it started breaking on that. He's seeing a major index break. He's seeing a setup on the Tesla. So he says, you know what? Boom, market going in my way. I see the setup. Let's go ahead. Let's nail this down. And let's see what kind of momentum we can find washing on out, also following the QQQs. And that's
not to mention as well, Tesla was weaker than Qs already. So I knew if Qs had one decent red candle that it was going to flush Tesla down because Tesla was already weaker on the day. So finding how different stocks, and not just Tesla, any stock, finding how they're moving in relative to the overall market. So SPY and the Qs, and think like, okay, is it strong compared to the overall market? Is it weak compared to the overall market? And have that in the back of your head, because the last thing you want is say Tesla's weak compared to the overall market, but Qs are strong. I would personally not go short on Tesla, but I will keep that in mind, knowing that If both of those two things are moving together and the stock is weaker than the overall market, that we're going to get a big move if the overall market does decide to come down. So that's where marking those key levels every single morning on SPY and the Qs, that way you can watch for those different areas where it could possibly flush down, is so important.
And a lot of times you're going to get the continuation momentum. This market has been a little bit more of like a quick to the trigger. So what do you think here? Have you been kind of more a little bit quicker to the trigger on the profit taking?
On both the profit taking and the stop losses, I've been quicker on both of those. I've noticed premiums have been interesting. I trade options, and the premiums, if the stock bounces not in your direction, or if it flushes down not in your direction, premiums have been getting killed very quickly. So I've been scalping very quick moves. I mean, my average winning trade that I'm in it from 1 to 3 minutes, and I'm looking to catch between 10 to 20% max. Usually I'm in and out 20%, or sorry, 10, and that's all I need on each trade. So I don't really leave any runners either anymore. I don't leave any. Yeah.
I can't blame you for that. You know, in this market, it's not probably the market to leave runners. It just leaves you up for the volatility to stop you out a lot of the times. So you got to be careful. It's one thing that happened to me even on Nightscope yesterday. I got stopped out just because of the volatility. You got to know what you're trading. A lot of that you can use, like, let's say, average true range to kind of really tell you, hey, how does this stock really trade? You know, what's the volatility in it? And so that's another thing that I'll tell you guys to check out, average true range. Looking at FCX, now it's really starting to work in our favor here. So I'm going to take a quick look at this trade. I've been long here for a while now. Just watching this trade work. We're going to look for it to take out that 15-minute trade right there. So we would look for a push up there towards 38.50s. We could sell some at 38.50s, but I'm going to look for the continuation, look for above that 38.50. I'm actually looking for momentum to step in there and push it on up there closer towards the 39, where we could take profit for the day. It's not a bad trade. We know we're out. Let's see if it can start working for us in our favor. Oh, yeah, it would be nice to show the trade, right?
Yeah, totally. Look at that wick. Look at that wick on the candle there. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and I see that happen a lot. You know, what it does is a lot of times is washes the just shorter time frame trader, right? If you were on that 5 minute, you more than likely got stopped out there.
Yeah.
And then so now the bigger time frame traders start stepping on in. This is why I always like to look at the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart to me represents a lot of what retail and institutions get mixed up, right? And what I mean by that is that so institutions, a lot of the times, they're probably not even allowed to look at a chart under 15 minutes. So we got to look at those deeper time frames to kind of understand the psychology of what's going on with the bigger time frame traders, what's going on with the smaller time frame traders. This is why I try to look at these for more swing trades and use hourly, dailies, and then you can go to as far back as, like, let's say weeklies and monthlies. But I really love when you get a candle like this, where you get a big pop on the hourly, then you get a sideways candle on the hourly, holding the top part of the range, and then you're going to look for the next candle to pull back a little bit to support, but then take out that range. That really gives it that drive on the 1 hour that you end up seeing on the 15 minute, that you end up seeing, okay, so there could have been some stop outs there on the 5 or the 1. There's the got an alert here for us, guys. Alert on BBIG, guys. Alert BBIG.
Oh,
we talked about potentially 350. I said, don't look at it until it gets to 350. Guess what just happened? Boom. Rocket, baby. 4.4 million shares traded there, pushing on up. Let's see if we can get a trade on this. I don't mind taking a little bit of shares here. We can get a pullback towards 340s here. Want to see a quick pullback here. Trying to see what shares filled in there. 349, you got 10,500 shares. So someone definitely just sold into that. Now look at the bid.
There's buys. They stepped up on it too. They stepped up to 350. So that's a good sign. There we go. There's just made a
somebody's at least we can see here. There's a range right around like the 340s to 350s. If you scroll back on your
ask.
And a lot of volume stepping up there. One thing I did see on the bid for a second, 300 show up, and then it flushed through right quickly. So one thing that you kind of look at, I'm looking for the big boys now. So for like, let's say BBIG, normally I filter out 1,000 shares traded. Now I'm going to filter out 10,000. I want to see orders at 10,000 shares or above, because this is a lower price target. You could even see shares traded at like 100,000 order. Those are the orders that I'm trying to follow to see, okay, you're stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, this seems interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure it seems interesting. Devin's like, ooh, it seems interesting. BBIG, baby.
I feel like this thing used to be really hot, like even back during like this was when was this thing? Like this fall, right? It was super hot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we've been keeping an eye on it. We put an alert earlier today. I said, yeah, just keep an eye on it. But 350 is that level that, yeah, it's going to start rocking on everybody's trade ideas alert. Trade ideas alert, trade ideas.
I love it. Yeah, going back to the whole hourly time frame thing you were talking about earlier. I think that's I love that time frame as well. And I think the best time to look at that is like right now when it's about to be a new hour, so that way you can evaluate the past hour. So whenever it's like, I love pulling up the hourly chart whenever it's coming to the end of an hour, just to see that overall candle, and that can give you a lot of direction, or that can help you anticipate the direction of the next hour, the whole next hour. So.
All right, there you guys seen some shares flow through on BBIG, 20,000 shares at 346. So to me, that's someone that had an order out there sitting in the 40s while everybody's thinking this is going to break out through the 50s. And so the market maker sees all that volume that's sitting there in the 40s. And they're like, all right, well, thank you. I'm going to come down and grab your shares right quick, see what happens here. And now you're kind of in the in-between stage. The biggest order I see is at 346. I see 30,200, and I also see 20,000 shares. So that's, to me, the big boy. I always want to see him pressured, so I don't mind seeing 344s right now, even 340s. You wouldn't want to see below 340s, because what happens to that guy? Probably stops out. So you got to keep an eye out here to see what happens. BBIG, we're keeping an eye on it. We're also looking to see FCX. So about the new candle that Devin just talked about, let's take a look. Right now, this opens up at what? 38.21. And where did the candle close? At 38.21. Now, what we want to see is this push up towards the high of that 1 hour candle, which right now it would be a push towards 38.33. If we could get that push, we could get the breakout. We'll see what happens there. FCX.
If that FCX can break 39 today, that would be a crazy pop after that, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so BBIG coming back there towards what? 344s, pressuring that guy that bought big there. I'm going to put a circle there just so we can kind of point him out, so you guys kind of see how I try to take the psychology of where the big trader is and how I would take the trade there. And so understanding that a little pressure on him is expected. 340 cut down wouldn't be expected. To me, that would be too far of a break for him to hold on. And so we're looking for a little tick here, and then you'll see a quick sweep of volume show up on the algos as they try to take out the 350 on the upside. BTU, a good move. All right.
One thing on this BBIG that could be interesting is, like, since, a lot of these traders look at the 15-minute, 5-minute, a lot of people, what they do is when they enter, they set their stop halfway down that past candle. So, like on this BBIG 15-minute candle, that would be around that 339 mark, and that's also the low of the previous 5-minute candle as well. So that'll be a really interesting area. Is at 339.
All right, Elite calling out a call out on the swing trade of the day. The swing trade of the day is on DraftKings, up there now to 23. What did I say would get me in that confidence to keep the day trade to the swing trade is a close above 23. Now we're at 23. Now what do I get? I get into full swing trade mode. I'm like, let's go. Let's go, baby. And what I like about it is it's such a smaller position that you can give yourself a little bit of leeway in the trading action. Normally, the volatility was a little bit too high, but I'm starting to see the volatility slow down a little bit. So I'm willing to take some chances on a swing trade like DraftKings. We'll see what happens. All right. Kramer pushed DraftKings this morning. Kramer was probably watching the show. Kramer likes to watch Money Mitch. Let's just say.
Yeah, he's following your trades.
Yeah, he frames the trade. Kramer kind of goes hand in hand.
Oh yeah. The
All right,
volume is interesting on DraftKings. They had a ton of volume like 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah, I traded it then.
Yeah, it was you. It's all you.
Who knows? It might be Money Mitch. Maybe one day, but we'll get to that point one day, guys. All right, guys, let's have some fun here. So I just saw the hold there at the 40s for BBIG. I'm going long here, 100 shares. Nothing big, guys. I'll even tell you guys it. So I'm not trying to make $1 million on this trade right now. I'm just trying to worry about risk.
Hey, you never know.
But take the trade.
Never know.
All right, guys. So long BBIG here, guys. Let's do it. So I'm going to take off this stop because why? Because it exactly followed the strategy that we were looking at, right? We said look for BBIG to hold a 340 pullback, test that big trader. Now I want to see it break out through that level. When you see 346 show up on the offer, look for some flow to just really pound that 346 and get towards the 350s, almost in a second or two. That's what I'd be looking for. Whenever I trade parabolic movers, momentum trades, I need to see what instant gratification. What do you
on something like this?
Okay, so something like this, what we're going to do is we're going to use the next level down. I always talk about layers of support, right? Where's the next layer? So the next layer was in between here when you saw this little slowdown spot, and it's the bottom of that big candle. So 335 on the downside would be the out here. And what does that give us? It gives us an awesome risk to return if we can get back above the 350s. So I always try to look for the next layer of support to draw my risk off of. All right, thoughts on BB? We're getting questions on that and SoFi, so let's go ahead. I'll take a quick look at that. I'm still looking at this BBIG, trying to look at a lot of trades here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually go to our 3-chart setup here so that we can keep an eye out on BBIG on the right-hand side here. I'll go ahead and I'll do that one. I'll put it on the 1 minute. We're watching that. On the middle here, we're going to do FCX, which is our other trade, which is doing decent right now. Still hasn't really broken on out. We haven't seen that continuation on the 15. We want 38 to hold here and take out the highs. We're also going to do on the left-hand side here some of these trades that you guys are watching. So I'm going to lower down BBIG a little bit and get to some of the stocks that you guys are watching. SoFi here, looking hot. So I don't mind you bringing up a stock that's doing well. And if you see here, a stock that's super extended on the 5, and then it holds the pullbacks. It's looking well right now. It held this 1240, so I would look for 1250s now to hold on any pullback, but it does look like it wants to continue moving on up. SoFi looking actually a little bit better on the daily. We got into this zone that I was worried about getting into, but now we're starting to move above it. So SoFi not looking too bad there. What do you think about SoFi? Have you ever thought about this name, Devin?
Yeah, I traded this name. What did I trade it? I traded it from like $15 to like 23 back probably like mid last year. Just shares. It was a swing trade. And then I hold a small chunk long term as well. But overall right now, I mean, if you look at it on a larger time frame, it's been hot the past 2 days. But yeah, I don't know if it's something I would personally touch right now. I would want to see some more clearer levels on the daily chart, which I'm just not seeing right now. It looks like a lot of choppy price action on the daily chart.
Perfect.
Which can be super challenging sometimes. But the average true range is getting larger now than what it was even at the beginning of January here. It was very choppy, but now it's starting to pick up a little momentum. So
good to know, guys. Definitely we'll see what happens there on SoFi, see if it continues up there. FCX trying to break out. We'll see if it can get up there to the 35. 38, 35s. That's where we should see some levels. Now we're starting to see that 46 come into play here for BBIG. So let's see right now if we just see a flush of volume up there towards the 350. We get a big bar. That's what I'm going to be looking to see there. Let me pull it up here. I need to look at the level 2 here. BBIG.
This thing's going to pop above 347 for like a red to green move, candle over candle on like 5 minute. Looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one thing to note is that where's that big trader in, right? That big trader is right there where we have that yellow candle here. That big trader is just watching this trade, trying to let it work. And what he's going to probably do is when it pops through the 350, he's going to be selling also into the move. So we'll see what happens there. We can continue going there. Tesla doing that right now.
What would be your first price target on BBIG, or what would be your first like profit target on this?
So for BBIG, what we got to do is we got to use back levels, right? So we're going to go on the hourly and we're going to see what's the next hour resistance that I have. Above here, I have 375s drawn out. So it's probably going to be the first profit take at 370s into there. And then we're going to look for a $4 move. If it gets to 4, we can keep watching it to see if it kind of just takes out and all of a sudden we get into a halt breaker. So what I would do is I'd probably take half of it out there at a known resistance and then look for the rest of the trade to get break even on the rest and let the parabolic mover move, right? I mean, this is what you're trying to look for and understand the type of trade that you're trying to do. So to me, this is what a momentum parabolic trader. And so for these, you're looking for small risk, big returns, because I need to take a lot of these to get into the profits. A lot of times your accuracy is going to be very low with these. So what you need to do is you need to expand on 2 areas. You need to expand on the reward, and then you need to actually contract on the risk. It's not expand. We're going to contract on the risk, because what we want to do is stick to, like, let's say maybe a 4 to 1 or 5 to 1 return on this. So you're risking let's say you're risking 10 cents on this trade to make 50 cents on the upside. And so this is very important, because what that does is that gives me an ability to, let's say, be 20% accurate and I'm still break even. So I think this is the important part. Yes, you can be 20% accurate and still break even on trading if you're just getting it right. 2 out of 10 times, right? And so it's all about risk to profit loss ratio. Keeping the math in your advantage is so important. There's BBIG, guys. We're getting into this bad boy. Let's see. We got that pullback we wanted to see. Let's see if we get this breakout through 350s and continue moving on up. Like always, guys, smash the like. We'll see if this one can continue moving and keep breaking on out.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
SoFi moving up well. FCX doing well. Got up there towards the 38.35. Now we're going to be break even on FCX for the rest. We're looking for a breakout above 38.50, moving up there towards 39, taking some profit into that move. We'll be watching FCX. Look how that turnaround happened a little bit there on BBIG. I'm watching it. What happened there? A whole bunch of selling into the 350s, but I'm wanting to see it come right back to that level and pop out.
Yo, Mitch, you ever read this book?
Oh, did I ever read that book? That's literally the #1 book. Hold that up again, Devin.
Yeah.
The #1 book that you guys should read, and read first especially, is Learning How to Master the Psychology of Trading. This is Mark Douglas. He's passed, but man, I have learned so much from that book. You have no idea, Devin.
Nope.
That is literally, if there's one book I tell you to read, it's Trading in the Zone.
Even if you don't trade, I recommend this book. Like the psychology side of things and of risk taking and managing risk and like how to take risk and like the psychology around fear. I recommend this book to literally everyone.
Hey, everybody in the chat calling it out there. Yeah, they love it. It's honestly one of the best ones. I think it's one of the ones that really got me to understand that sometimes you don't understand what risk really is. And until you understand what that is and understanding what risk management is, it's easy to say that you understand what risk is. There's another thing in actually looking at it and seeing if your emotions actually confirm that you understand risk, because that's what you want to see. Also, your emotions shouldn't be riding high if you are in a person that you know that that's the risk in the trade. A lot of times what happens in trades, we take risk that we say we want to take, that we think we want to take, but then when it actually happens, what do we get left with, Devin? We get a lot of the times we're like, oh man, I kind of opened myself up there a little bit too much.
Yeah. It talks a lot about like hesitation as well. And it talks a lot about how you have to just admit that like, it's not like the market can do anything. And you can't blame the market if you lose money. The market's the market. And they had a great example in the book of this guy, the stock was around a support and he's like, oh, we got to buy here. And his firm that he's working for is like, no, we're not buying here. It's at the low of day. And the guy's like, no, it has to bounce here. It's at support. And the guy he was talking to is like, short 10,000 shares, blah, blah, blah. And they just flushed it through the support and tanked it. And he's like, look, the market doesn't have to do anything. It's important to admit when you're wrong so you can learn from it instead of just saying, oh, it's the market's fault that flake pattern didn't go through or that high of day didn't break with volume or whatever. So.
Yep, I completely agree. And there's one thing that a lot of traders have to go through. And this is the reason why I probably shifted from more of a day trader to swing trader, was because I found out after long periods of time that I couldn't purely just use technicals to be profitable in the long run. Yes, you can be kind of subjective on your trades, pick some patterns to kind of be in there. But I can tell you right now, I mean, the statistics will show it. Day trading is very, very hard to be consistent. One thing you can do is you can get a little bit into kind of, let's say, a mode where you're kind of seeing your profits actually happen. But one thing that we don't want to do is get to the point where we think we have it all. I don't have it all. I don't think Devin has it all. I don't think any trader has it all, because there's never one thing that's 100% in trading. I've never found it. And if I do find it, I'll let you guys know, but I probably will be making millions by then. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's the truth, is that a lot of things are kind of left into what subjectiveness, and seeing what patterns work and when they work is another thing that you'll find out as day trading, is that it's all about timing. So sometimes you're going to have a down wave in the pattern, and if you don't know how to ease up on that break, you're going to run out of gas, and we know how that happens a lot of the times. So we'll see what happens here, guys. BBIG, remember, guys, we don't want to see it break 340 on the downside. 335s would get us out. We'll see if it gets back up there towards the 350s. FCX working well up there to the 3840s. SoFi is continuing to work well. So if you guys are looking at SoFi, I mean, it did make a nice move there. Let's take a look here at the overall market, see what we're seeing on the sectors. Sectors are up. Energy up 2.99. Man, it just doesn't stop. I sometimes think, well, why am I not just trading energy? Basic materials up 0.85. We'll see how that one continues to move. Consumer cyclical. What is in the red today is utilities and defensives. So it looks like the value trade being pulled off there. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Music levels are a little bit high. Got you. Music coming down here, guys. All right. So, Devin, what other kind of things will you be looking at the end of the week? Is there anything that you're watching to see what happens?
I mean, just the normal, just everything, the typical Amazon, Tesla, Facebook's looking interesting. Shopify is actually really interesting. It's approaching that 1,000 level, which we flushed below, what was it, a week or two ago. So I think if we can get back above that level, it'll be looking really nice. That's about it. I just kind of this morning, actually, I did a review of January and just kind of went over and reflected on the month of January. I always like to do that. I look at my win rate, how many winning trades, how many losing trades, and then I check out, I look at a lot of different things around, some of my biggest losers. I like to review those and see what I did wrong. I like to look at my biggest winners, see what I did right. And then I like to just reflect and be like, what can I do better going into this month? What did I learn from last month that I can bring into this next month? And I think the biggest lessons that I learned from January going into this next month is taking A+ setups and just going from there, not feeling the need to trade every single setup that you see and waiting for that, what you consider a almost perfect setup. Obviously, there's never a perfect setup, but waiting for what you would consider an A+ setup. And then even just in general, not feeling the need to take trades every single day. Like the market has such a low entry, like anyone can trade stocks, right? Like especially nowadays. So I think realizing that you don't have to trade every day. Sometimes if you wake up and you're not feeling the greatest, or if you see the markets maybe a little choppy, you're almost always better off just stepping away from the computer and not trading at all. So
Yeah, I'll add to that. You know, one of the things is as a day trader, what we need to do is be at peak performance. So for you guys that want to, we're talking about books and stuff. I should have it right behind me. Let me get a book right quick.
all right, cool.
All right, there you go. Have it. You know, you got to go to the library. You got to have some good books there, guys. So
Heck yeah.
I'll tell you guys to check out another one, and I'll tell you, Devin, to maybe check this one out too. It's called The Observer. Okay, The Observer is written by Todd Stoudemire. It's a modern fable on mastering your thoughts and emotions. So what does this has to do is a lot of the times is one of the hardest things that we have a problem of in being humans is knowing our own emotional state. How on top of it are we? How on clear and focused minded am I? And we have to sometimes be the observer and catch ourselves and knowing that, hey, like right now, guys, I'm going through a stressful time. I have to move and rents prices are extremely high. It's in my mind. It can drive me to make mistakes because what? I'm not fully there. I think I'm there, but I'm not. And so you need to be observing that, catching that. And that's what The Observer is all about. So if you guys want to add another book, Devin and I killing the book list today.
Let's go. Yeah. I'll say one more thing about kind of like that book too. I haven't read that book, but one thing about like your mental state in the morning, one thing that I did when I was just getting started with trading, maybe I should go back and I should start doing it again, but I had a checklist that every morning I would go through, and if I didn't check all the boxes, then I wouldn't be able to trade. And some of those checklists would be like, did you get 7 hours of sleep? Did anything bad happen in the past 24 hours that could be affecting your mental state? Did you work out? Did you eat healthy? Did you drink a freaking glass of water? All this random stuff that can I'm a huge fan of, in order to be a successful trader, you got to be good in all the other areas of your life as well. You have to be healthy. You have to be happy. And if those,
got to work out.
You got to work out.
Got to work out. I said it, guys. Your physical needs to just be as good as your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so important. Some traders don't realize we built up so much stress with trading. You need to find ways to relieve that stress. Yes, some of us are kind of more, Colorado style like me, and can, meditate and kind of catch yourself like that. But some of us need to kind of use that stress and get it out. So that's why I recommend always working out is a great way to definitely get out that stress. I remember I used to day trade and immediately go to the gym because I felt like that was such a great way of clearing your mind, not being so driven on your decisions. Also, the hardest things I see day traders do is what? And I'll say it, and I don't mean it in a suicide way. I'm going to try to add to say that is killing themselves. Stop hurting yourself mentally. Make yourself mentally strong. Don't make yourself mentally weak. Don't think of negative things. Think of positive. Always go back to review your stats and try to be honest with yourself. But at the same time, don't just kill yourself. I made one bad step today. I made one bad step. Because all you're going to do is you're going to draw that into your other trading. I'm sure you've seen that, Devin. It happens to all of us. I've been there too, where I bought the high and I literally FOMO'd into it and then get stopped out. And then you see the trade go through the roof. This is going to happen, guys. We just got to be mentally tough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Devin.
even with eating healthy, your gut health is attached, your gut is attached to your brain. So eat healthy foods too. Don't eat a stack of pancakes or whatever, and then sit down and start trading,
Yeah. Like I always say, pinky on up and grab some orange juice. Be focused, guys. All right.
Yes,
thank you, Devin. Like always, we'll have you back on next week. Thank you for coming on. And you guys definitely check him out, guys. If you guys don't know where you guys can find Devin, you guys can find him at Winter Devin on Twitter. So hit him on up. Let them know.
Or
Please check
Winter
it out.
Devin on Instagram, or just search Devin Winter on YouTube as well. I post like live trading recaps 2 or 3 times a week, so you can check that out too if you want.
Hey, well, thank you for coming on, my friend. Like always, appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Later, everyone.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here to see if BBIG is going to continue making that move. I'm still holding FCX also, so let's take a look at that one. It's really holding well, that trade. We'll see if we can break through 38.50s. That would give us a really nice trade on the day. FCX copper trade. Going to keep watching DKNG also. If we can hold up there by 23s, it's looking well. We did get into a little bit of a resistance zone. Talked about how this trend line coming into play. Let's see if we can get back up there towards 24s in the long run. Right now, fighting through this resistance on the trend line. We'll see what happens on that. OJ is high in sugar. Yes, it is high in sugar, but it does kind of wake you on up. For me, it gets me my focus, but it's always up to you. If OJ is too strong for you, hey, that's what it's about. Breakfast burritos, says Hex. I don't know how those breakfast burritos are helping out, but Hex, let me know how that works out. All right. What we're going to take a look at now is, guys, I want to tell you guys about something here, guys. So one thing that we're going to do today is we're actually going to be having on later today on our NFT show, the roadmap. I need you guys to go ahead and check on out, guys. We have the top 11 Bay C holder. The owner of 36 Bored Apes is going to be on the show there with my man Chris Ketchy. So you guys check that on out, guys. That's going to be right here on Benzinga. Like always, guys, we do have an NFT show. It's called The Roadmap. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I would definitely go ahead and do so. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Cigarettes and coffee, says Tiny Pie. Hopefully not too much of the cigarettes, more of the coffee, but hey, we'll see what happens out there. Iced coffee, Fat Blunt, says BR Cleaning Company. I can't blame you on the second part, maybe the first part. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going out there. Thanks for having Devin. Thanks for having you on. We'll see you next week. Like always, my friend, we'll see you. All right, guys, we're soon to wrap on up here. We got about 5 minutes left. So if you guys got a stock you guys want to check out for potentially a swing trade going into tomorrow, throw it up in the chat. Looks like we got 400 likes. Can we get to 450 before the end of the show? I'd appreciate that. Let's keep going, guys. Like sometimes we're going to say, hey, let's go, guys. Oh, this is my volume's down there. Let's bring this up here. I don't know why I can't hear it. I'm having issues on my sound there, my soundboard. Let's keep going, guys. Let's go ahead. SPY being mentioned in the chat. PayPal. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of these trades. Smash that like, especially if you're throwing a stock in the chat. What's on the calendar for tomorrow? We're going to be watching oil. A lot of the OPEC stuff is going to start up. We'll see what happens there. Let's go back to BBIG, see what's going on there. Can we get a 350 pop? You guys let me know what happens on that end to see if we get some reaction there in BBIG and it breaks out through the 350s. We talked about that level earlier. Let's see if we can get on up there. All right, FCX is pulling back a little bit there from that breakout. I'm just going to hold on to VWAP now. So VWAP is at 38.18, guys. That's the out on the downside. Let's let this work and continue to try to make this trade in our favor. PayPal being mentioned. Let's go to PayPal. PayPal is one that, yeah, you can start calling the bottom off of. I personally don't like this name just because it's retraced so much that I don't know if this is the bottom or not. But I don't mind if you're looking at this. The only thing is, remember, you just had about a 2-day move, a 10% move. So potentially I would look for 50% retracement from these moves. So you're looking at somewhere around the 167s, 165 area to get in versus up here at the 174s. But hey, if you want to go ahead and take that look on PayPal, can't blame you. Of course, keep your eyes on Square. They should trade very similarly. Look how this one's been going up also. But I do think this one could pull back to, let's say, 117s, 120s before we really get that next lift. We'll see what happens on these names. All right, good luck, traders. It says Beach Bum Trading. Yes, Beach Bum. Hey, man, I got to get back to the beach, man. I got to get back out there to Melbourne. Who knows? Maybe I get back closer than you know it. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what's out there. Bros being mentioned in the chat there. Let's take a look at my bros. Bros, it reacted, guys. We talked about it yesterday. Is it time? Above 50, I liked it. Now it's starting to break on out. I'm a little late to the party, but guys, I'm never late to the party because this is my company right here, guys, that I'm going to call out is going to, in the long run, replace the style of coffee that you know today. Starbucks is for boomers, and it's getting out of here, guys. It's all about the Dutch bros. Got to get the Dutch bros, man. Dutch bros on out. Oh, a little QR code for you guys. Who needs some Dutch bros, man? Get your Dutch bros. Scan me. Who wants some rewards? All right, we'll see what happens out there. It's one of my favorite plays for sure. Long run, I still see the lines building at bros like there's no tomorrow. This one traded up really well past the 56. Look for pullbacks here towards 55 or down towards 52 for pullbacks if you're trying to get in, but definitely does look pretty interesting there. Square looks hasty, said KT. We'll see what happens. MRI being mentioned in the chat. Rogue is going to 120 after earnings. We'll see what happens. Keith. All right, out there, guys, let's go ahead. Upstart being mentioned in the chat. Loves that bro stock. Yeah, I gotta say I love it. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, we got about 1 minute left here. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and one more time, guys. If you guys could do me the favor, guys, get on out there to the top 11 base holder, guys. Find on out on the roadmap. That's gonna start at 2 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Benzinga. Up next, we will get into Benzinga Live. So definitely check that on out. And like always, guys, keep building right here on Benzinga. If you guys want to check out our trading school or maybe the option mentorship by Nick Shaheen, definitely check that on out. I'll get Nick on Thursday, but I also need to get Mark Petrino on here. He's completely awesome. I mean, he has a CMT. If you guys know that what I'm studying also is literally what Mark is. So check that out, guys, if you guys want to check out the trading school. All right, that's going to do it for us. Let's see what happened here, if we can get the run in BBIG or not. Looks like we're right there on the price point. Can we get a breakout through 350 here? We'll see what happens on that one. But like always, guys, smash the like right here on Live Trading with Benzinga. We're going to keep moving and see what happens. And do me the favor, if you're new to the show and you haven't done so already, definitely hit that like and hit the subscribe. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified the moment that we go live. So definitely let's go ahead and do so. It looks like it was a good money day. Yes, I said it at the bell, and it was true. We had some money today, so give me that thumbs on up, and we'll see you next time right here on Live Trading with Benzinga. Until then, guys, I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of money. Someone said that they liked that Pink Floyd live, so I can't blame you on it. Let's go ahead. Let's wrap on up. We'll see you next time on Live Trading with Benzinga. Benzinga Live coming on next, and let's keep it going, guys. Let's go. Let's go. This market isn't stopping for anyone. It ain't gonna stop for me. So let's go ahead. Let's see if the BBIG can break on out. We'll see. We'll be back tomorrow.